Are we live now? I think that worked.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, so me silly stupid man. This is Joe smart man. So StreamYard has a great button that says start stream. However, YouTube also has a button that says start stream. Now I clicked on the button. However, my web browser was apparently unresponsive for the past 6.5 minutes. So Joe and I have been like palling around and talking about things.
We even did the great intro and everything.
We did it. We did an intro. I introduced Joe, and Joe, like, he came out in a costume. There was this whole, we rehearsed. So let's start at the beginning. Hello, I'm Steve from Mac84. I am joined today by my good friend Joe from Joe's Computer Museum.
Hey, everybody.
And so the whole thing that was going on now is, now we've just started. So the whole thing that was going on is I was going to stream. I had a bunch of work to do. And Joe on Twitter said, hey, I was going to stream, but now Steve is streaming. I don't want to go up against Steve. I said, well, let's hold on. We have the technology. Let's do this kit together. Let's be dorks, and we'll go from there. And obviously, I don't know how to do things unless I plan them.
And then the technology betrayed us and had two go buttons instead.
There's two buttons. I don't know how that works.
Like Dead Man's Key. Got to turn them both at the same time.
So let me ask you the question that to buy myself some time. What are you working on today, my friend Joe?
So tonight I am going to be working on the primary thing is I want to test out this brand new scope that I got that Steve helped me choose. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. But basically, I want to test out the scope by building one of my Apple II, Apple III universal keyboard encoders. It's got a lot of tiny SMD parts, and I figured this would be a good way to test that. And I don't know, hang out with people and chat at the same time. So I figured that would be cool. And maybe, because this thing does not take that long to build, maybe we'll take turns. And then after you do some magic, then I might come back and might build a Soft Card 3 reproduction. Oh. That one takes about 2 hours. So we'll see. Oh, well, it takes a while. That's why I'm not doing that one first.
This is a Mac84 live stream, so we could.
This is true. We might be up until 2 in the morning.
Yeah, let's not crash the stream, please, guys. All right, so I beg of you, please not. All right, so that's what Joe's working on today. I will try and remember everything I said 5 minutes ago when we weren't live. But we had such big egos, we just thought we were live, and the audience was just quiet. They were overjoyed. So I have a board here that is my good friend Frank. He is welcome to Video City in the chat. This is his LC575 logic board. And it did not work. I plugged it into the Performa 550. That's right behind me. And it was not happy. So I took the caps off while I was doing something else today. And we're going to put caps on this and see if we can get this thing to work. And yeah, you didn't miss much, Mike. There was a technical snafu, and I have no idea what I'm doing, apparently. So yay! But we're going to just have at it. And, you guys can ask us questions. You guys probably know Joe. I hope you're subscribed to Joe's channel. If you're not, you do it. What you waiting for? So Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube. Do a search. Subscribe to his channel. Even though he's a guest here, you should subscribe to his stuff. Awesome stuff. Your Ethernet episode for Macintosh, that was really cool. I still have to build one of those, but as you struggle to find it. There you go. Just sitting right there. So that was really cool. So plenty of geeky videos over on Joe's channel. And I had your partner in crime, Ron, on my channel just earlier today. So I think it was just a fate. It was a package deal. So.
3 Macs to go. We'll do that. That's what we should do. We should do a live stream at some point or some sort of podcast between the three of us and call it 3 Macs to go or something weird like that.
and we'll start out for the first 10 minutes or even a half hour of us thinking we're recording and we're not. So. That'd be great. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna attempt to. So you have your fancy OBS camera thingy set up, which I have to figure out how to do. If it's even possible on the Mac version, which is sort of neutered compared to the Windows version sometimes.
I don't know about that.
Well, whenever I follow the instructions, they don't seem to work on the Mac version. but maybe it's just the problem between the chair and the keyboard.
Change the angle here. I'm going to switch to my scope and just start kind
Sure.
of goofing around with
And
this.
hopefully you have the same controls I do. I'm not sure if you do, as far as the view that our viewers see. Do you see that at the bottom? Do you have the ability to change that? If not, I could put you full screen, etc.
I'm not sure I know what you mean exactly, but
Okay, so we have these yeah. See, I can make myself big, or I can make you big.
Yeah.
So, do you have those options on your
I
end,
do,
or no?
but I don't know if I can do them because you're in control.
Oh, well. What I'm saying is, feel free to fight over the controls if you really want to show somebody something.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna take over his stream. This is now Joe's channel, and I own both channels.
Oh,
also,
we're too zoomed in.
I just had a little alarm go off. I have weird alarms that go off at night to remind me of things. So if you hear those go off,
so somebody forgot to turn on Do Not Disturb.
Well,
that's right. The alarms.
Here's the problem: I turn it on, and then they stop happening, and then I forget the things. And
so we need some dueling banjo music for our
there we go.
And such. Yeah.
Let's see here. What I'm going to do first over here is I'm going to. Can I show this on? I'm going to switch my camera so I can show you what I'm soldering here.
Let's see if I can make you full screen.
This.
Solo.
So
there
so this is what I'm going to be building.
Cool.
It's my keyboard encoder kit. This replaces the AY5 or AY whatever it is, the keyboard encoder in the Apple II. I don't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's a multi-step process. Obviously, what we got to do is we've got to get the chip put on here, and that chip is a PIC 16F18875.
I'll pretend to know what that is.
It's a little microcontroller. It runs at like 32 megahertz. It runs like 32 times faster than the Apple II, which apparently is exactly how fast is required in order to actually do anything. So that's a thing. But yeah, so I have to get this. I have to get this tiny little chip on here. Now, this will be the first time of me using a scope to do this. I usually do this by the naked eye. So yeah.
So it's either going to be really good or really bad. Is that what
exactly. That is exactly correct. So of course I've got the little dot up here, which means that's this corner, which is going to correspond to this corner right here. So I need to make sure that I get that oriented correctly when I put the chip on there.
I'm going to try something here, and if it breaks, it's my fault.
Okay.
I hear a bit of an echo on your end, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think it's just.
I can turn my speaker down just a little.
No, it's okay. You don't need to hear what I say anyway. Just ignore him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, here we go. So yeah, I got to get this aligned, and as anybody who does any sort of micro soldering and stuff, you got to get these little guys aligned perfectly and all of that magic. But before we really do this, what I like to do when I'm doing, oh wow, I got it perfectly, pretty much right on dead cue.
Well, that's not allowed.
What I'll usually do is I will put a little bit of flux on one corner. You can't really see the corner I'm pointing at. Flux on one corner, and then I put flux on another corner and just do a couple corners to get it tacked down. Once I do that, I can super flux it and just drag solder it, and that allows me to do it pretty quickly. So we're just going to kind of do that. Let's see here. We put just a little bit of solder there, or flux there, not too much. I don't really need a lot for the corners. And we'll do the opposing corner.
Cool.
That too, it allows me to see it when I'm doing the thing. Hopefully I'm in shot. I am. Okay.
Yes. I'm just going to hide my... If I do that, it screws up my camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is fun. That's okay. We'll figure it out.
So
we'll do it live.
Let's see here. Now, this is the boring part of aligning the chip. It's also kind of the tedious part. Almost there. And, of course, my hands are all, like, super shaky and stuff. I will apologize for any sort of camera alignment issues as I'm doing this, because this is the first time I'm using this thing live.
That's an excellent excuse. I'm going to say the same thing.
As Steve and Bruce both know, the camera output on these AM scopes is not exactly aligned with what you see through the scope.
No, really?
So, it's just a little bit off. So I have that alignment pretty good. So now what we can do is we can just touch these corners with the soldering iron. A little bit of solder on it.
Just a wee bit.
And it just sucks it right in, and it gets the corner in there. What I do is I like to just bring it and just slowly bring it in. Of course,
you want to do it as quickly as possible, so it throws everything else off.
Yes. Of course, now it's gone all over the place.
See how much of a help I'm going to be?
Dude, you're the best. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't be streaming with
you. Joe, where'd I put my capacitors?
Where did you... Dude, that's the question we all ask. You want me to answer your question? I'm still answering my question. Where are my capacitors at?
Oh, good. I found them. Thank goodness. Okay.
Hopefully, I'm still in shot there.
Yeah. Well,
sort of.
I can see you.
This is it's the trickiest track.
You will get used to it. You will get used to it.
There we go. I'm on it now. So now we can do it. I am just failing miserably at this. See, I am so used to doing this by eye that to do it under the scope is just nuts.
Well, it's something you're completely not used to. With the camera and everything, it took me a while to get used to, because it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I can't focus, I can't do this, I can't do that, etc. But
there we go. We're on it.
So everyone in the chat is saying they should be comparing and contrasting our techniques.
All right.
What technique? What's a technique?
Yes. Not that you guys saw that because it was underneath my face camera. Maybe that'll be on there. That's on shot.
Oh, there you go.
There we are. So now I got 2 corners soldered. So now that chip will stay in place. So now I can just flood. Wow, I love this microscope already. That is the most perfect placement I have ever done in one of those chips in my life.
What's nice about this is I'm not going to get any work done. I'm just going to watch you. This is a bad idea. No productivity.
I will also apologize to anybody who's bought one of these from me before and has looked at the solder points on these close up.
Oh, that's their fault. They're not supposed to look at it.
Because, apparently. So now we're just flooding with flux.
We're flooding with flux.
What is it? It does something chemically, like it breaks up the oxides and helps the stuff stick.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Why not?
So
stop acting like I know. I'll just make stuff up.
We're just going to add a little bit of solder to that iron, not too much. I just add it to the iron, and because we have flux, we don't have to worry about using the flux that's built into the solder itself.
Yeah, just the more the merrier. Like I have flux here. I'm just putting 3 caps on this board. I already pulled the caps off of these earlier, like I said, but I'm had to be careful around these plastics. So I'm going to take my sweet time. So how many of these have you built already, Joe?
Oh, these chips? Probably about 10 or so.
Oh, okay, cool.
10 or 15. They're popular, but not like hyper popular because they don't fail often. In the Apple II, for example, the ones in the Apple IIs are just because the Apple II itself is built like a flippin' tank.
Mm-hmm.
It is incredibly hard to kill one of these chips. They usually die because of poor storage and the typical, what do you want to call it? Just moisture and all of that stuff. Ooh, I had a solder bridge there. And all of that. So that, it's not usually a big deal. But what they actually die more in are the Apple IIIs. Because the Apple IIIs, of course, are just crap. I love them, but they were so poorly designed.
Yeah, I thankfully, that happens both in the Apple III and the Apple III Plus, or?
Yeah, pretty equally.
Wow.
They're really susceptible, apparently, to static discharge.
Well, that's fun.
From what I've been told, Madeline McDan, is her last name McAndrews?
Yes.
I talked to her about that, and she knows a lot more about the Apple IIIs than I do. And she happened to mention that. It's like they die all the time because of this. I'm like, well, I made a market. Great. Really, the entire reason behind making these was, if you go back and on my channel and look way back, I did like a 3-part series of repairing some Apple IIIs, and I needed a new keyboard encoder because mine died. And instead of going out and trying to find one,
can you actually do that or no?
Which is going to be a pull from a working Apple III. I'm like, I'm going to make a new one. I'm just going to create a new one. And those all look fairly okay to me, actually.
Okay, I did the parts by the plastic. That was what I was most worried about.
What's that?
Have you ever had to do an LC 500 series before?
Oh, no, but I've done
Classic.
Color Classic.
Oh, yeah. Same thing.
It's got some, yeah. Yeah, I think a Color Classic was the first board I ever recapped, actually. And, yeah, melted plastic all over the place.
Oh, yeah, it's fun times. That's why I was careful here.
But, yeah, I needed to be able to make something that would do the thing. And so I designed a thing that did the thing. And then the first version of that was on this big fat board. It's huge. I might have it. I might be able to show it here.
Like a prototype type thing?
It's sort of a prototype, but it was an actual production run. I'll switch cameras here so we can just kind of show it there. It was like kind of a production run type of thing. It was really fat and used the full size chip and all of that. But there were several problems with that. It wasn't universal, meaning I couldn't have one design that would work on all machines. That would work in an Apple II and an Apple III and an Apple III Plus and all of that. So I wanted to design one that did that.
Okay.
So I reran the board. Also, because this is slimline, it'll fit Apple IICs because it'll fit under the keyboard.
Oh, really?
So
wow. That's got to be tiny then.
Is anybody asking any questions in the chat? I haven't been paying any friggin' attention.
I have everything full screen, so I'm being a horrible host. Let's see. Super Fluxit. That's a good comment. Poor Apple IIIs, yes. We got 55 people watching or so. That's nice.
55! Woo!
Hello! Yay! Let's see.
More than I would get watching on my stream. That's I might get 20.
Let's not jinx it. Come on. Let's try to keep a little optimism here.
They see I'm here and they start leaving, right?
Oh, it's that guy. Yeah, screw this.
That Joe, that jerk. So now I've got to get these little guys here out of this tiny little package and soldered on there.
Oh, that looks like fun. I'm glad I'm dealing with larger capacitors.
Yeah, that's always fun. On the Apple III, that was another thing I wanted to see if I could do, the Apple IIc lighted keyboard kit, but I don't have enough parts to build one.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's exciting, though.
But that one is, these are 0603 sized devices.
Okay.
Which means something. The smaller the numbers, the smaller they are.
Oh, of course. I knew that. Sure.
But that Apple III keyboard or the Apple IIc keyboard has 0204s on it. Those are tiny.
Oh.
Super tiny. And I did those by eye, too.
Oh,
geez. If that means anything.
Did you go blind yet or no?
Oh, no.
It's good.
But let's see. Super flux.
I'm just waiting for my soldering iron to pierce my headphone cable.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that happens. Place your bets, folks. This is the only pair I know where it is in the basement, so if that happens, we're screwed.
I need to get this aligned correctly so you guys can see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing.
No, the ladder's not important.
What?
The ladder's not important.
That I can see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I don't need to be able to see that.
It's the audience. That's the only one that matters.
So we're going to move this over a little bit.
I miss Fever Steve. Fever Steve was delusional. Fever Steve is dead. Long live non-Fever Steve.
Oh, Fever Steve, yes.
Yeah, I had a slight.
Did you get over your cold?
Yes, it's just the lingering that never goes away is there. But it was a lovely gift that my wife gave me. She shared a cold with me. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's what I needed. So I love you, honey. All right, so 2 more caps over here. It would help if I put down the soldering iron before I try to use my hand that is not on the table to grab things.
So these little guys here I'm putting in are just little resistors.
Mike, what the heck are you doing here?
I might redesign
we have enough audio issues, Mike. What do you
I just wanted to see how many dorks we could fit into one window. That's
Hey,
all.
Mike!
Hey, Joe. I'll leave now.
How long have you been sitting there?
Not long. Well, I've actually been on StreamYard for about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Because
But
I had a full screen.
I just interjected myself a couple of seconds ago because I wanted to see how long it would take before you realized I was here.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
This is what happens when you have admin access to StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lock you guys out.
Never happened.
Mike, you were streaming earlier today, weren't you?
He was, and then he just disappeared. But yes, he was. He was playing around with the iMac that he got. So if anybody is not subscribed to Mike's Mac Shack for some reason, I don't know why, go do that. He just picked up a 2006 iMac. So yeah, an old Core 2 Duo one, but it was cheap enough. He just wanted to play around with it. But he and I are going to play around with some things because he has I don't know if you know this. He has an iMac G5 prototype.
Ooh.
That is slightly different from the shipping version because it has a compact flash and SD card slot on the back.
Interesting.
And apparently on the production boards, you could still see the pins for those connectors, but they didn't include the card slot. But it works and everything. He bought it.
Boot from it.
He tried. Oh my goodness, did he try? He was not happy. I don't think he got it to work successfully. It tried, but it would just like hang, I think. But yeah, so the idea is he has this Intel iMac now that's a year or so older, newer rather than the G5 one. And since I have a quad core G5 and he has a original Mac Pro, we thought, oh, it would be cool if we could, because people did it back in the day when things just switched over to Intel, but it would be cool to actually go and check out how everything actually performs, So comparing, let's say, video editing or a game or whatever, see how it works on PowerPC and how it works on Intel and how big of a speed difference is there between the two, etc. And all that fun stuff. So if you are not subscribed to Mike's channel already, folks, in the chat, I know a lot of you are, but if you are not, please consider doing so. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be doing together, and he always has a bunch of cats in the background, so what's not to like?
Cats, yeah. Some sort of weird early internet meme in there somewhere.
And Mike is still waiting in the wings there. What are you doing there, Mike? You in or you out?
He's waiting to come in, interject, and then
he's just gonna like scream while we're soldering.
Yeah, there you go.
Scare the bejesus out of us. It's like run him over a delicate plastic part. That's one.
Of course.
Let's see. Oh, he's watching without the delay of YouTube. Smart man. Yeah, the Intel Macs, the white plastic one, that was the first Intel machine I got, the first Intel Mac machine I got, rather. And I went from a G4 PowerBook to a Core Duo Intel iMac. It was even before the Core 2 Duos they had. It was just Core Duo, and of course, like 6 or 7 months later, they came out the Core 2 Duo, and I'm like, no, yeah. But
that's the way it always is. I
mean,
it's actually, and everything else.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Apple was so behind and slow with their G4 and G5 processors because it took Motorola and IBM forever to do anything. It always seemed like the next product was like a year or two out, or more than 6 months rather. So like 6, 7, 8 months was like really fast for Apple. But when they switched to Intel, it really sparked of like, wow, you'll get like a MacBook Pro update twice in a year, or a desktop update twice in a year. And that, I mean, it happened, but it wasn't super common.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things where it was like, really? How'd that happen? Oh, I'm an idiot. I've been using the wrong caps this entire time. Cool.
Oh no.
I was like, this is going so well.
A factor of magnitude, they'll probably.
Oh no, it's far worse. All right, nobody watched this stream at all. Thank you. Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. I already put like a bunch of them on here, especially during the plastic ones.
That's what you get when you're just hanging out and talking with the friends.
I know.
Everything just kind of goes haywire.
I had 2 bags. I was like, no. All right, let's double check my work here. See how far I screwed myself up. Yeah, no, I'm screwed. Cool. Well, double check your work, friends. So we're recapping the recap of the recap.
Awesome. To recap, we're recapping.
Oh, there'll be a lot of that tonight. All right,
I'm sorry about that noise.
What the heck? Oh, that's your phone.
Like I said earlier in the stream, I've got weird reminders I have to leave on, or else I forget that they happen, and then
you're just going to scare the crap out of me.
I can't forget happen. So
okay,
I'm just going to over all my solder joints again here.
You are being vague enough to scare me. When are the police coming?
Sure, I don't need more solder in these, but I'm going to add a little just in case because I'm paranoid.
Oh, that's always that's always fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, on my side, that's all the micro soldering is done.
Well, that's nice. I have to redo my work.
I'm sorry. I'm not actually.
How dare you? You're a guest on this program.
Cool. So, am I fully zoomed out? How far in can this thing go? Let's find out.
Pretty zoomed in.
I just want to see how far. Nifty.
Nifty.
That is cool as heck.
Oh boy. Well, this is gonna be fun.
Cool. Anyway, cool.
Where's the rewind button so I can rewind all the soldering I did? Because that was going way too fast for my comfort.
So I'm done with that part. I can actually switch away from the scope. I really enjoyed that process. That was nice.
I enjoyed this too. Cringe, bite.
Usually what happens is when I'm soldering these things by hand is I end up just screwing stuff up and like missing joints and things. And
oh yeah.
And then I got to go and just randomly hit all the joints again. And just going to zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully everybody can see that. I hope that's in focus.
That's a tiny little guy.
Actually is or not. It looks like it is to me, kind of, sort of. Can I like automatically do white balance? Ooh, that's awful.
Yeah, the white balance is fun on these.
Okay. Just I'm playing around with my camera settings. Just give me just a second. Just trying to get things so you can see what I'm doing. God, that sucks. Like I was saying before we actually got started here, I'm using as much recycled hardware as I can to make things happen. Mm-hmm. So my bench cam here is an old iPhone that's streaming Wi-Fi over to my computer to do the thing. So,
how old of an iPhone is it?
That's a really good question. I'll be here all week.
Boo! He didn't answer the question.
So the next step on mine here is I got to solder in the actual pins. And here's a trick if you're ever assembling anything like this, mm-hmm. That you need to be in a super low profile to fit like the size of a regular chip socket, is to use these Arduino extension headers. Oh. It's great for that because then you can just use a regular PCB, and these things are super long and the same dimension as pins on a chip. So you can put them through here and just use a jig I made here with a couple sockets to do that. It's pretty nifty.
It's always good to like learn those little tips because that saves your butt.
Yes. I learned this trick from Jeff Burt of Hey Burt on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
So,
all right.
Shout out to him if you haven't checked out his channel. He's got some really cool stuff. He does a lot of Tandy stuff.
Oh, okay. You know, I know like little next to nothing about Tandy stuff, so that'd be cool to learn.
Let's see here.
I am almost done removing my mistakes carefully. Pay no attention.
First.
Oh,
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. There's plastic everywhere.
Okay, there we are. So now we solder these little pins in from the side, or I try to anyway. Okay. This chip too, I designed it so that the programming pins of this microcontroller are actually exposed onto some of the data pins.
Okay. And what purpose would that do for the uneducated like me?
Yes. So what that allows me to do is I made a quick little converter-y jig that I can put directly into my programmer and program this chip as if it's a 40-pin full-size chip.
Oh.
So that I don't have to use the super little micro doodle to pre-program the chip before
Is that the technical term?
That's that's Joe's term.
The dealie, the thing.
Yes.
The doodle.
The Legend of Korra reference. Do the thing.
Yes, we have 2 Mac84 streams in one day. I know it's Joe. Joe's the one that put me up to it. So all praise and complaints go to Joe.
Hey man, I don't care. Any publicity is good publicity.
He'll deny all the bad stuff, but accept all the credit.
So we got those on. We just snip these off to get them out of the way.
So we could talk. We could turn this into a impromptu question and answer session.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
What was your first computer, Joe?
That is a very good question. So my first computer was a TRS-80 Model 1.
Oh.
I did actually a short little video about it. I don't know, a year and a half ago.
Oh, I'll have to watch that. And how did you acquire it? Was it like new or used or?
Yes, it was used. My dad got it as a trade from a coworker. My dad worked at Napa Auto Parts for a billion years. And he somehow got it as a trade from a coworker for some reason or purpose. And so then we got it. And of course, it being, a computer, it's a fancy, expensive piece of equipment. I was never allowed to touch the thing. This was like, early mid 80s. It was like 85.
Now look at you, the master of micro-soldering.
Yes. But eventually I was allowed to play with it after my brother got it and couldn't figure out how to make it work. And then I got it and I made it work.
You read the manual?
Yes.
Kind of.
Sure. Yeah, I'll turn this camera.
Actually followed the instructions.
But no, I turned it on. It was actually my first soldering project too. If anybody knows TRS-80 Model 1s, you'll know the absolutely abhorrently awful keyboard connector cable.
Oh.
And it had failed. And I figured out that was the problem and fixed that. And then I used that for a couple of years.
Excellent.
What was your first computer, Steve?
Well, mine was our family computer. So it was a Macintosh 2CX.
Ooh.
And a lovely machine. So my father did graphic design. He learned on, I think he went to a night school thing or whatever. He learned on a Macintosh SE doing page layout in Quark Express. So imagine doing page layout on a 9-inch CRT. But so he did that. But he needed a computer at home that could also do some of that work and computer for our family and whatever. So the Macintosh 2CX was the first machine he got. And I remember finding the invoice years later. And it was something to the tune of $11,000 because it was with the 13-inch color CRT and Image Writer 2 and everything. And of course, his company ended up paying for it or doing something because obviously there was no way our family could have afforded that. But it was this complete. It had this Rostrops graphics card and the Image Writer 2 color printer and a dust jacket. Like I had the invoice somewhere. It's hilarious to look at, but. People complain about expensive computers these days, and it's like, well,
it's $600. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. So
I remember when the disk drive was $600.
Yeah. So that was our first family computer, and that lasted us a long time. And I still have it. Unfortunately, it has some issues. So there's no onboard video on the 2CX. So unfortunately, the issues I'm having are with the new bus slots. They seem to not want to work. The machine will chime, it'll turn on. But since the new bus card slots or something related to them does not want to function, I cannot operate the computer.
Oh, sorry.
So my goal is eventually I want to do a little video with my dad, have him come over and be like, look, I've resurrected the old computer and show him around because I have the monitor. We only got rid of the printer. We traded it in. There's a museum by us called the Liberty Science Center. At one point, they had a thing where you recycle old junk, you get points, and you get more old junk. So I traded it in for a PowerBook Duo at one point, which I think was a fair trade, I guess. And so, yeah, we don't have the original printer, but maybe that's why I'm obsessively collecting ImageWriter 2 printers. Maybe there's I'm self-diagnosing myself here, but hey, Justin. And we didn't really say hi to anybody in the stream, but I'm going to say hello to everybody. We have our regular guests here. Well, I mean, the people I'm familiar with following me. I'm sure a bunch of them follow you as well. I would certainly hope so.
Yes, follow Joe on Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube. I've taken over Steve's stream. It is now mine.
I'm going to blink twice. Please help.
Help. I've been abducted.
I recapped that board incorrectly as a call for help, and nobody caught it. So
okay. Okay. We'll just say that.
That's exactly. Come on, give me a slack here. Not gross incompetence. I mean, come on.
I swear, I remember at the very beginning of the stream, somebody asked me how many Macs I have.
Oh, go ahead.
That is a very good question. Hold on, I have to turn around and count.
You can count them?
Well, Steve, I don't have a basement that's 40 feet by 40 feet like you. My museum's like 20 by 20. And it's just, yeah.
The bunnies take up the other half of the basement.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere more than 9 and less than 12.
I like that you have a range. That's good.
Most of them are classic compacts.
Oh, okay. Those are easy to stack.
Yes. I have a few beige boxes.
And I appreciate you not asking me how many I have.
If we were to ask you that, you'd go off and actually count them, and then the stream would be just like 30 minutes of you counting. I
made an inventory list once in 2008 or so. And then I updated that inventory at one point. And at that point, I think this was, oh gosh. And this was like from memory. Like I went around, I'm like, yeah, I have this, I have that, and I have that. And then I updated that at some point, and it was like 120. But I'm gonna say it's probably closer or over 150 because I mean recently there's a recycler who used to do recycling. He no longer does, but he used to get in a bunch of MacBooks and PowerBooks.
Yeah. And
it wasn't worth him trying to fix them because they were broken or whatever. So he gave them to me, and I count that as a machine because it's broken, but it's still a machine. Yes. And I probably got like 30 of them from him.
Jeez.
So not when I tell people I have like over. Yeah, exactly. When I tell people I have like over 100 and something Macs, they're not all working. Trust me. There'd be a lot more content coming out if all my stuff worked. But a lot of it was acquired, oh my gosh, like 20 plus years ago when nobody wanted anything to do with Apple and everything was dirt cheap.
I work at a computer, well, it's not really a computer repair shop anymore. We've kind of evolved as a business. But back in the day, it was a computer repair shop. And somewhere around between the year 2000 and 2004 is when I actually had collected like 75% of this. People were just bringing in old stuff. And like, do you recycle computers? And I'm like, sure, why not?
Let me give that a good home. That's not my basement. Wink.
Yeah. Well, back then it wasn't a basement. I lived in a different houses on the second floor of the house, and it got to the point where the poor old house was actually having physical structural issues.
Oops.
And I had to like get rid of some of my collection.
Boo.
But Then I moved here, and now I'm in the basement, so I can put like 4,000 tons down here, and it doesn't care.
When the house starts sinking, I'll let you know, Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
What's banging on your door? I don't know who was banging at my door. Hopefully nobody is. Uh-oh. Hold on. Somebody texting me? No.
Oops, that's not quite in there straight, is it?
Anyway, nobody's banging on my door unless somebody was. But hopefully not, because I'm not expecting anybody.
Okay, just getting that straightened out and failing miserably to do so.
Oh, don't worry. We have plenty of failure to be shared on this channel.
And it went right through.
Yay!
No, boo! Can I get the plastic out of here? There we go. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can fix this manually. Stand by.
It's fun doing this with a friend.
Soldering with friends.
Soldering with friends. Oh no, I'm gonna accidentally sing and then people's ears will bleed. They encourage me, but
unsubscribe.
They encourage me, but I know it does not help the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull these jumpers out.
Why did Joe leave? Well, his ears were exploding. He's like,
Wow,
I like you, Steve, but I don't like you that much.
I actually have to look at that. Gosh darn miracle. I have no idea how I did that. I'm awesome. Just yeah, we'll accept that. Accept that I'm awesome.
That was intentional.
Yes. I still have to kind of wick some of this out. Long story short, I'm trying to put in the selection jumper header here, and I mis-soldered it.
Does
and
that
like
select
went all over
the
place.
type of machine you plugged it into, or
What's that?
does that selection thing tell
No.
it what machine is plugged into, or is it something different?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So these keyboard encoders, there are 3 different key mappings. One is the Apple IIe or Apple IIe, Apple IIc key map, which is they're this basically the exact same key map because they use the same generic off-the-shelf chip. Then there's the Apple III key map, which is completely different. It has the same logical function, but the buttons you press are you get different sequence, or you get different outputs based on the matrix intersections.
Oh, okay.
And then the Apple 3 Plus is again also different. So you have to have these different selections for different key maps.
So it's important to get working.
Yes.
That's all I brought to the conversation.
Now this header doesn't actually have to be in here. If I were to test this as it is without this,
What would it default to?
It would default to the Apple IIe, and it would just work. But I want to get it in there because why not?
We don't have to answer for anything. Let's just do the thing.
For all I know, somebody on this stream might want to buy mine and go to jcm-1.com and
Your link is in the video description, my friend. So they could
they
easily just go there as well. And I misplaced the capacitor I just had.
There we go.
No. No.
Try this again, except we'll get it in there straight.
Joe, where did I put the capacitor?
Somewhere between New Jersey, New York, and Delaware.
Really? You went that far already? Crap. Oh, well.
So I made the cardinal mistake of doing this. I soldered all 4 points simultaneously, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to solder one, check it for even. Of course, this time I did it perfectly, and then solder the rest. But
You will find that you always do things perfectly when the camera is not showing it.
of course. Yes.
But that's just how YouTube works. Okay, so how many more do I have to put on this board? 1, 2,
that.
3, 4, 5 caps. Yay!
I'm going to just see if anybody... Does anybody have questions for me or Steve?
Yes. Question go.
Justin says hi. Hi, Justin.
I said hi to him earlier, so I get the brownie points.
I'm just looking for
brownie.
bright orange in the chat.
Now I want brownies. Damn it, Joe.
That's right. You love chocolate, don't you? You're a big
I'm
chocolate.
hungry.
No other questions. The old question about how many Macs I have. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Who is the bigger nerd? Who is the bigger nerd? Is it factors of bigger or smaller, or just different types of nerds?
Different
maybe?
types, because you seem to know much more about like chip level stuff, and things that actually make sense and are applicable in electronics and things. And I'm more like, yeah, if that Mac's not booting, you just hold down this keyboard combination, you shove a SCSI ID this way. That's like the extent of my knowledge.
It's I think both of our knowledge has been hard earned through
Pain and suffering.
Exactly. So now we're gonna clean this.
Steve, how did you figure that out? Well, over an 8-hour live stream, it came to me.
Now, if anybody knows this type of solder we're using, or the type of not solder, flux we're using, we both use the same Amtech solder, I believe.
Yes,
I keep calling it solder flux. Gosh darn it! It's super sticky, and even when you clean it with isopropyl, still has a tendency to stick around. So you have to clean it several times if you want.
Yeah, it gets a little sticky, and although I'd rather have it sticky and work than it
this
not
is
be.
true.
Yeah.
It's also not stinky.
Oh, thank goodness! Yeah,
I was turned on to it by good old Bruce, who I'm sure is in the chat. Bruce Rain.
He's slacking off. He's just using his Sunday in the future, relaxing.
Oh, that's right. He's in the future.
He loves it. When
I should have put that should I have put that salutation in the form of a question? Who is Joe Strohsnyder? There we go. But yeah, this flux is really good. Do I still have it? Did I throw it away? No, I threw it away because it's crap. I have
you bought a crap
another
one?
type of type of flux I used to use, and it's just awful.
Ugh. I mean, it's pretty bad for me to have to throw out something, but I've done that before where it's like, nope, this is garbage.
Yeah, the previous stuff I was using is just it smelled like a freaking tire fire. It was the worst.
Oof. I mean, I have some old flux that's like it's absolutely horrible, but it's like in an emergency or if I'm using something where it's like I just want to disassemble this and see how this is,
I am now going to follow up with Windex because, trust me. People are going to be like, they're going to oxidize and cause problems. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Don't let your precious customers hear that.
Well, it hasn't caused me a problem since. I've got this one here that I built, one of the very first ones I built that way a long time ago, and it has had absolutely no issues. So,
excellent.
Not going to be a problem. I don't use a lot. I find that the Windex helps cut down some of that flux really well. Now, if I was going to build like 20 of these all at once, I would just throw them in the ultrasonic cleaner. But, yeah. If you're doing onesies, twosies.
So, which ultrasonic cleaner do you have? Just dimensions. I know if it's anything like mine, it's like garbage.
I don't know. Can you guys see it? It's like way back there by the sink.
I could barely see it.
Hold on, I'll go look at it. Big one, sort of.
It's a big one.
It's got numbers on it. I don't know what the numbers say. It's called a PS-60 Alpha.
Okay. Do you know that if it's a 10 liter or a 15 liter or something like that?
I think it's a 15 liter.
Okay, yeah. I think that's the same one. I think we talked about it because I think
yes.
Yeah, because
big-ish, but not like super big.
Yeah. It's weird because the way they measure those is, they taper at the bottom, so you're never going to get like when it says like, oh, it's let's say 11 inches wide or whatever. You're not going to get something that's like a logic board that's 11 inches wide to fit
right
in there. It's going to be, you have to put in an angle, you have to be creative, And so somebody sent me a very large Macintosh logic board And they were like, "Do you think you'll fit?" And I'm like, "Well,
No.
one way to find out is I can't guarantee it, but."
Okay, and put my chemicals away here so I don't cause a fire. This would be bad.
Oh, man,
I mean, it might be interesting, but
fire bad. Okay, so I have put all the caps on this board.
yeah, we can test at the same time.
Yes, let's see. So let me make sure I didn't screw anything up because that happened earlier.
This angle to that. There we go. That's the angle we want.
All right, these are all the same values. Let's check Bruce's excellent website, recapamac.com, which I would be lost without. Lost, I tells you.
Okay, stand by. I also need to plug in my programmer and do
You
programming.
need to do programming things. Where'd all my Q-tips go? Where'd they go?
I know I'm not in frame, guys. It's fine. Don't worry.
We can still see your basement. You're like, oh, look at the opposite.
The mess. So I've got this programmer here, which, as you can see, is an absolute mess. This programmer was.
It looks pretty.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's weird. It's a Microchip Curiosity HPC. It was a kit that came with the chip that I wanted to use for this project. So, and because it came with that chip, whatever it was it's one of those learning kits. So instead of having to spend like $100 for a programmer or having to learn how to make my own programmer,
it's time for that.
Like $30.
Oh, that's great.
So it was super cheap. So I use this little weird thing, but I've got all these little adapter boards on it.
Oh, so it allows you to program different types.
Yeah. So if we take this out, it's just a ZIF socket thing that I made for it, so I can pop chips in and out super easy. And then I've got this adapter here. I call my small board adapter, which I wired up specifically to allow me to program these after I've soldered it.
It's like a bunch of Legos.
Yeah, so I don't have to use one of those stupid. Gosh, where is it? I have it here somewhere. One of those little quad flat QFP programmers that take special types of pressure, and you got to get it aligned correctly and all that. I'm like, nah. And what if I kill a chip? Like I'm gonna program it, then put it in, then not know if it works, and this and that and the other, and it's like, So whatever. Yeah.
There you go, Frank. All the caps are on. Let's see if this actually makes a difference, because unfortunately before it did not want to boot. So Joe's going to keep you entertained as I take my headphones off, so I won't be able to hear anything Joe's saying. So Joe's going to be on his best behavior, of course, and see if we hear a chime when we shove the board into this thing.
I'll be quiet so we can hear the chime. Is that the correct direction? Yes. Yes. Okay. Go here.
All right, let's turn it on.
No chime. Oh no. Did we hear it? Waiting?
No chime. I mean, the hard drive is seeking, so that means maybe something. Nothing on the CRT. I also didn't put anything in the memory slots or the battery or anything, so that... Is it booting? I heard the speakers pop. No, but nothing's on the screen. All right, let me turn it off.
While we're waiting for him to play around with that, I have my code up on my screen here to show the programming of this chip. It's a little small because he's
Let me
got.
just double check with the known good board.
Yes.
To make sure I'm not going crazy here.
Programming the chip. Found it, erased it, programmed it, verify. Sweet.
It's a known good board. Okay.
Yay!
That one does it.
We heard a ding.
Make sure the screen comes on, actually. And it does. Okay. I could hear the world again. So, might have to put memory on there. Now, Frank gave me one memory module and one video memory module, but I think you need a pair. So, we'll test that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The 475s, 575s do need video RAM to chime.
That would explain a lot. I mean, I'm just an idiot. All right, so let's get hopefully this. So the video memory on the 550 board that's in there is totally different, but Mike has his board here, and I'm just gonna borrow his modules. I don't think he'd mind because I'm gonna recap his next. Right, Mike? He's screaming, no!
Is he still ghosting us in the chat?
No, but now that you mentioned it, he's going to stop in, I'm sure. A very interesting memory socket on Mike's 575. I've never seen this on a Mac with the little plastic poles. Where's my other finger?
Great.
Yeah.
Just more plastic to break.
I know. What the hell? Well, I'm going to have to scrub these with a toothbrush because they're a bit nasty. But at least I know the analog board works, and my 550 didn't suddenly die because that's been known to happen. It's like, oh, let me test a known good working thing. Oh, it's not known good working anymore.
Steve, can you make my screen larger? I just want to show.
Of course.
My code here.
There you go.
I don't have the control buttons on my.
Oh,
video.
I mean, I have all the power.
I wanted to show everybody in a little bit better detail my code for the keyboard encoder here. Ooh. So yeah,
if you go and share, you could share your screen. I think, Joe.
I have stream show. I have buttons that did the thing. The buttons are doing the thing. Brain late. So. Yeah, so basically code, blah, 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 barfy code. But what I was showing is that I was able to program that using the programmer. And even with the chip built in, like soldered to this thing that is not supposed to be a PIC microcontroller, it was still able to program it because of the way I've got the things mapped.
You confused it in a good way.
Yes. I told it who was boss.
Like, yes, sir. All
right, so in the corner here, I'm going to take this encoder. I'm going to put it in this Apple II back here, and we're going to see if it works.
Yeah, I'm excited. Don't explode, please. Joe worked hard on you.
Let's see here. Which direction does it go? It goes this way. We've got a ZIF socket in this Apple II as well, specifically for the purpose of testing. So.
Oh, now to figure out if this needs a battery or not. Probably does. I like it that the battery is not labeled, which is positive and negative. That's going to be fun.
So now you got to find a ground plane, catch it against both.
I think I did that, and none of them were saying ground, unless it was just because the faulty caps were on there. I don't know. Let me test.
Okay.
Beep.
Did it work?
Is that a good beep or a bad beep?
Good beep.
Yay!
Yep.
Now write us a poem.
Yeah. It's working.
Yay!
That's really all there is to it.
Sweet. Nice job, Joe.
I might redesign this chip at some point in the future to use a resistor network instead of a single resistor. It'd be faster to solder, probably.
All right, so now, since there are 3 pins on the board for this Macintosh LC battery connector thingy, I have to figure out what goes to what, and none of them appear to be ground, so that's fun.
3 pins?
Yeah, there's 3 pins. Uno, dos, tres. Well, hold on.
Yeah, switch the screen. so we can see.
Yay. And so there's the processor here, and here's the little header for the battery. There are 3
Oh, yeah.
pins. Now I'm looking at an image online, and I see.
I'd be willing to bet the 2 outsides are ground.
Yeah, that's what this picture is showing. So I have a very, very, very meticulously crafted PRAM battery holder with 2 leads on it. Look how fancy it is, Joe. It's just perfect. There's tape on it and everything.
You know, test jigs, if they work, they work. It doesn't matter if they're pretty or not.
Exactly. And
it's not going in the final model. It doesn't matter.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna plug this in. So it has memory and has battery. I'm gonna take over the screen in full view for a second, if you don't mind.
Fine. Yeah.
And see if this wants to work.
Just doing some housekeeping. Cleaning things up. Will it work or will it not work? Next time on Mac84. Here we see the Steve in his natural habitat. Piles of cables and boxes. Many working.
All my stuff fell.
See, he can't hear me right now, so I'm just narrating whatever the heck I want.
Okay, let's see.
Boom.
Ah. Let's see if anything happens.
Sad face. We have a sad face.
Something tells me something else is wrong with this board. Something. Oh, crap. We got an image. It's
How do we get an image? But the sound chip could be bad.
Yeah, because the cap's blue right next to the sound chip. Yay! Hey, Frank, it has life. Let me move the camera here.
Now the next trick is finding a replacement sound chip.
I actually have some. UT Source was my friend. But yeah, let's.
I have to check that site out. I haven't really looked at that a lot.
Very expensive shipping, but other than that, yeah, we don't get a wild eep, which is very sad. But let's take the sound chip off and see if we could fix that. Sweet, it actually works, and it's showing itself as a Macintosh. Yay! All right, let's shut it down.
All chips are going to be expensive now.
Yeah. No, Frank, I did not swap the processor yet, so I'm just using the stock one. We will test that after we fix the sound issue. Does that sound good with you? Well, it is in there. It does have all the ground plane loops and everything, and the 550 board works fine. So I don't think it's the famous Adrian Black example of like, hey, this is why the sound wasn't working. But yeah, all right, let's bring us back to normal view. Okay, great. There we go. All right, cool. Let me grab that board.
Ooh, I get to take over the stream again. Yeah. See, he asked me to entertain you while he's off headphones, but I'm not.
So now you did your thing, Joe. What are you doing next? You're just gonna watch and hurl comments at me?
I'm going to probably hang out for just a little bit and comment and chat and do the thing until I figure out what I want to do next. I have a couple different things I want to do.
Don't rush. Just enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah. Maybe build a soft card 3. That doesn't require a scope or anything. Maybe fix my broken Apple III or diagnose it. Maybe that'll be interesting.
What did you do?
Turned it on.
How dare you?
And yes, in case anybody in the chat is wondering, yes, I have already dropped it 3, 6, and 9 inches, none of which worked.
Right, let's look at this nasty sound chip here. If I can get. Ooh.
Put away the tools.
Yeah, this had some leakage next to it, obviously, because it's surrounded by capacitors, which is lovely.
Let's see. Can I get a better angle of that? No, it's just That's not going to work well. I am going to do this, though. Stand by for shaky cam.
Shaky cam, go!
There we go. Just because I need room to work in here to do this.
Well, I'm going to use my heat gun to get this sound chip off, and it's going to be loud. So I encourage you, Joe, to when I'm doing that, you are welcome to do whatever the heck you do. Do what you have to do.
I'm challenged.
In other words, you could take over for the 60 seconds where I'm making noise that nobody wants to hear.
Okay. I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. What I'm doing.
Oh, I do that, but I don't tell people I am, so they don't know I am. Unless they hear the loud noises.
Grab instructions and things of how to build one of my soft cards, because I'm doing run 2 right now. Not officially available yet, but it is available to a few people who wanted a run 2, so I've already let them know. And I figure I might as well build one. It'll be fun.
There you go.
I'm going to have to build one anyway. I've got all my instructions and my build sheets and everything pre-printed just to make my processes easy. And for those who decide to purchase a kit, I even have all the chip layouts and everything pre-printed out on a sheet. So when you go to put your chips in the board, you know where everything is. It's super easy. Okay. I need my solder again. Uh-oh, somebody tweeted and said, if you say solder, I'm not going to watch the stream. So I'm sorry to whoever that person was. It's solder. You've got to get it right. So let's grab my bits and pieces here. Okay. First things first, we put in the LED. LED. Okay. LED is in place. Next, capacitors. I need 4.7 puff capacitor. Let's see here. That goes down.
The chip is off.
Yeah! Which chip was it again?
The sound.
Sound chip? Oh, yeah. You're redoing the sound chip. That's right.
Ooh, that looks fun.
Ew.
Doesn't look horrible, but
It's mostly just gungy.
Yeah, let's clean it all up.
Is it scunge, gunge, or grunge?
Bruce is the expert here. Come on, Bruce.
47? How many 47s in one?
And in the debate of solder versus solder, as long as you know what you're doing, I don't care how you say it.
47 goes here. Oh, stop. Stop it.
Stop it! Yes, do it!
I think that's the best I've ever done that.
Oh, if anybody thinks mine is quote-unquote good, they're delusional. Mine is horrid. I think that's why people like it, because it's stupid. I'm from the... if you ever watched the very old episodes of the Late Night Show with Conan O'Brien, where he would do like the fake Arnold guy, like on the TV screen, that's like basically me. That's how poor I do it. Just comically bad. So Bruce says, gunge is dry, scunge is wet, and punge is gaseous.
Aha.
We're learning so much today.
Well, you'd think gunge would be gaseous and lunge would be liquid. Or one.
Don't you go correcting him. He
And
will get
scunge
angry and hop on
stop.
this stream.
Just to have the mnemonic. so you know which one's which.
Well, see that
But it's English, so it's got to be completely screwed up, right?
Yes, and also that could be the rules for the nonsensical American version. But
yes.
in Australia, that's the rules.
In Australia, it actually makes sense, right?
There's a lot of crud under this. I wonder if all this was just making contact with something and causing problems. Yeah, and hopefully we didn't kill the sound chip.
Now we put in a whole bunch of 100 nanofarad capacitors.
A whole
15
bunch
of them exactly.
15.
Doobie doo. Oh, nope, you got me singing.
Now for the vocal renditions of Joe. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, no. No.
Why did Joe disappear from the stream?
What? Oh.
No, I'm joking because you sung and
okay.
you were like, no, screw this. It wasn't like our false
I didn't realize you were making a joke. I'm sorry. I thought I actually had a technical problem.
That's the Mac84 humor of it's not funny. We're here all day.
I love these 100 nanofarad capacitors I chose for this project too, because they're like the gigantic old school ones.
Oh.
So they fit the part.
Oh, that's good.
I mostly got them because they were inexpensive to keep costs down for people wanting to buy kits.
All right, so I'll let you make this decision, Joe. Should we put on the old sound chip just to see if it was all dirty underneath, or should we put a new one on?
If it were me, I would probably put the old because because the process for removal and re-add is so easy, and the pads and traces look to be pretty clean. I would just go ahead and put the old one back on just to test.
Now that we cleaned.
Yeah.
And if
it doesn't work, then we know.
We know.
Well, at least we know it doesn't work. We could put a new one on it, and it could still be bad, and then we know we got a bad trace somewhere.
Don't encourage the board. The board is upset already.
I've got to keep the drama up. That's what makes the stream fun.
The drama of Mac84. He put the capacitor on the wrong way. Somebody think of the children.
I think if you had done that, you would have created the drama yourself the moment you turned it on.
Yes, I would have.
Big boom.
Very bad. Kablamo. All right, so let's put this little guy back on.
So I have a really dumb question for you, Steve.
No dumb questions. Please go on.
Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. No, seriously. When you are populating through-hole components like resistors and things, do you make sure they're all faced the same direction?
Not unless I have like OCD at the moment.
Okay.
So
you just like throw them in, make it work, right?
Yeah, it's like if it fits and it looks pretty, then it's good. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I put the resistors on backwards, but okay, it's fine.
But it works, so
it works. I'm not touching it. I'm not breathing by it. I'm not doing it. So with the 475 Bruce, I'm sorry, the 575, we replaced all the caps. It boots now. It turns on. It's all happy, but the soundy no worky. So even with the good PRM battery and opening up the sound control panel and everything, we do not get any sound. So that is why I took the sound chip off. There was a lot of crud under there because of the caps that were right there. So we're just going to try and put the old one back on after cleaning it and just see if that solves the problem. If not, I sense a new sound chip in this computer's future.
Somewhere.
Although I didn't test the headphones, but we'll do that in a minute.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I just had an extra one. Okay.
Counting is hard. Math is hard.
15. I'll put in the 220s. Those are 22 ohm resistors. Those are not the right object.
The one thing that you will find, at least I find, slightly irritating about like doing big chips like this under the microscope is the perspective is kind of warped. So you're like, that's not straight, but it actually is. You're just looking at it from.
Oh yeah. It's kind of because the 3D effect is amplified as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna say that's good.
Puff. Where the heck do these go? I don't flipping remember. Here they go. Doobie, doobie, doo.
Sing it, Joe.
Doobie, doobie. You know, it's actually funny. I hum that whenever I feel that, you know, I have that awkward I need to fill space thing.
Oh, that's every moment of my live stream.
And a lot of people are like, well, that's Strangers in the Night. I'm like, yeah, but let me tell you about some Super Bowl ad with penguins and Miller Lite.
That's right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's where I got that from.
That's funny.
2 100 puffs.
We're doing some drag soldering. No, Bruce, I did not test the headphone socket yet, but we will be doing that as soon as this is put back on. So we're using the same chip, but there was a bunch of gunge under there, whatever, crud under there anyway.
Wait.
And yeah.
Hold on.
Holding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I was informed there would be no math on this channel, Joe. You're not allowed to do math on the weekend. I'm just making Joe sad as he
okay.
counts. Counting is hard.
I'm not paying any attention to you.
Good. Nobody should be. That was the last time he was on this channel, by gun it.
I had a capacitor in the wrong spot.
Oopsie.
It likely would not have had any deleterious effect, but you
never know.
Capacitors
you are on a different channel, so all the regular rules go out the window.
Yes. Like having the wrong value decoupling capacitor, 1 out of 15 of them is probably like won't even be measurable with a scope, but whatever.
Says you. Because you'd know, I wouldn't. Like, sure, whatever Joe said.
So, Steve, do you know what decoupling capacitors are and why they're important?
Because they don't hold hands; they couple. Is that an answer? They decouple.
Actually,
actually,
let me mansplain it to you.
Gee, Steve, what an idiot you are! Let me actually tell you what this is. Please proceed to educate me.
So when electronic circuits, when the transistors switch states, they'll tend to draw a little pulse of current, and when they do that, they cause resonances, vibrations, drops, and things in the voltage rail, in the 5-volt rail. They can also induce voltage increases on the ground rail and cause noise to the point where if a lot of things switch simultaneously, it can actually cause voltage dropouts and cause crashes. And so what these little decoupling capacitors do is when there's that sudden burst of current request from a chip during a switch, it will provide it to keep the rail steady. Basically, they remove noise.
Oh, okay.
So it makes them more stable. This card,
when you explain it that way.
Yeah. This card, this funny thing, this card I'm building would probably work without a single one of these decoupling capacitors in it. But then again, it might not. So, yeah.
Ooh, we have a thing I didn't solder right. Oh, we'll fix that. And another, and another, and another, and another, and another. Well, you just did a poor job of that, didn't you, Stephen? Yes, you did.
Okay. Steve looks like he's just getting the sound chip back on.
Yeah, and I did a poor job of it, so I had to fix 2 sides of it. Or maybe just, I didn't even bother. Let's try it again.
Five, 6. Weird habit of mine, too. I count the leads as I do them.
I mean, that's probably a good thing. No, how dare you try and fix and count and be sure of your work. That is unacceptable, Joe. And Justin in the chat, thank you so much for, again, sending this little metal thingy for the microscope that fits the light on, because I was going crazy with all the tape and my nonsensical gibberish whenever I was trying to settle things. And you just were like, yeah, Steve, there's a part for that, you idiot. Just go and get this one. And you just sent it to me. So thank you very much for ending part of my insanity. I'm still insane, but a part of it is better.
Did you get one and lose it?
No, mine came with the wrong one. And I, while I had them on the phone, I was complaining about it. And they were just sort of like, yeah, we can order another one. I'm like, you gave me the wrong one. This is the problem. Like I'm not going to risk paying $30 for a part or whatever it was, for you to just send me the wrong one again, and then your reaction will be like, yeah, well, you can get the other one. It's like, wait, how does this work again? I think they were just fed up with me because I already had to do a return and everything, and I was like, their website didn't let me do it, so I had to call up and speak to somebody, and their phone lines were busy, so they had to call me back. It's always I always find like the problematic things, like they always find me. Maybe that's just something wrong with me, but it's like whenever I go through a process or whatever, like the website crashes or the server goes down, or I was getting ordering tickets for something, and it's like, okay, you want to sign up for this promotional thing? Yeah, sure. Okay, you must click this button on this window, otherwise we cannot provide this number to you again. Okay, I click the button, and it just goes into a swirling window for 30 minutes, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting that promo code now, is there?
Jeez.
It's the luck
Customer service? What's that?
Yeah, what's what? Fun times. I'm also at my job. I find a lot of things that the QA team has either not checked for, or it didn't do it when they did it, and then they're like, "Damn it, Steve!
What are you doing your job for?"
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a good thing you found this, but thanks, I guess. In a loving way, obviously, we want to all make our stuff better, but it's like, look what I found! God damn it, we have to fix
software documentation or something like that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. All right, now let's test all the pins again to see if everything is connected correctly. I know this is riveting. Oops. I hope. Well, we have 50-something people watching, so this better be riveting.
Hit the like button, people.
Smash it.
Give Steve all the love. I won't see any of it. It's not going to my channel.
Well, I'll crash your channel next time.
Okay.
And Joe will be like, yeah, sure.
Sounds like a great idea.
Joe's like, yeah, sure, come on. And he'll give you a fake link. What do you mean, Steve? I swear the stream's going on.
What's next? Resistors? Yes, resistors.
Frank is riveted. Well, this is his board, so he better be. If he was off snoozing, I'd be like, well, we're not doing this.
I caused a mini avalanche. Stand by.
Oh, I did that before, but I didn't bother to pick it up yet. I'll like trip on it at 3 a.m. when I come down here to like feed the bunnies or something, and then I'll.
So, if you're doing lots of board building, you need a little resistor former because it makes life a lot simpler and easier for you. So get one.
Yeah, Bruce was,
you have a 3D printer.
One.
Go to Thingiverse, download one, and print one, which is what I did.
That looks insanely useful.
But it just makes, because you just pick the slot, you form them, and you throw it in there, and it just makes it easy.
Do the thing.
Where the heck does this go? It goes right here.
I am also going to check the capacitors right next to the sound, because I've had problems before where like those don't actually go anywhere.
22. This board I'm doing is very fascinating with the weird random values of resistors on it.
That sounds like fun.
And
easily confused.
Oh yeah. And I started reverse engineering the actual board itself, just making a schematic of it. Haven't finished it yet, because I had this guess, just this random guess, that Microsoft designed this board with all these very specific values. Some of them aren't even standard E9 or E12 values. They're just really weird numbers. They did it as like a copy protection mechanism. So they would know that if anybody used the exact same resistors, they knew that they copied the circuit.
Well, that's one way to go about it.
Yeah, that was just my thought. But after having started reverse engineering it, no, a lot of these are weird bias resistors for certain parts of transistors, circuits, and so it does analogy weirdness. This board is really fun. It just does odd things. But
so how I know you did a video about it, and I forget the time frame. But how long did it take you to reverse engineer it from start to finish?
Oh gosh, you asked me too soon. This entire thing, it probably took me a month or two. Like I didn't really pay too much attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I have the actual labor it took me documented somewhere. But it surprisingly wasn't that hard, because the original board is Petar Puskarich's board. He sent it to me to copy. It was the board was really clean, so it was really easy to take an image of it to do that. This one goes here.
All right, so it's time to test the board again.
Woot!
We're gonna put that. Where did I put the battery thingy? Darn it, Steven! What did you do? The thing you just had on your desk. There it is. And I'm gonna label Mike's memory thingies because I'm gonna misplace them, and he's gonna get angry at me.
Is that a technical term, Mike's memory thingies?
Yes. Patent pending. Yeah, everything looks the same when you have like 18 memory modules on your desk, and you're like,
yes,
which is the one from the thing? Oops. I had to refer back to a live stream once. This is when I first started doing repairs. Somebody I got like a bunch of the same machine from somebody, and I was like, wait, they all sent me different memory modules and stuff, and I don't know the values of them or anything. So I go back to the live stream and zoom in. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the one. All right, that's theirs. I got it. Never again. Never again. Take the 5 seconds to label it. All right, so those are all mics. All right, excellent. So we're gonna plug everything back into this board again, both the video memory modules and the memory, and hopefully we have sound. Sound would be nice on a Macintosh, right?
Yes. Everybody cross your fingers.
We'll have to get the memory.
But not yet, because you'd be crossing your fingers for several minutes and be weird.
You get arthritis.
Or in my case, I wouldn't get arthritis. You just make it worse.
All right, so that's positive. That goes there. Plug in our fancy schmancy PRAM battery thing. All right, here we go. Plug it in.
Everybody cross your fingers for a ding.
Okay, let's hope there's sound. Did I plug in the keyboard? No, I did not.
Oops.
Details are important. All right, let's bring the camera over because who wants to look at me looking at the machine? Let's just look at it.
It's up here somewhere.
I heard the speakers pop, but no sound.
Oh no.
Well, let's boot it up. Yeah, it might be. I mean, who knows? It could be like the default value of the whatever the thing, and then we'll test the headphones and stuff. So let me get the tripod out. So I have to hold the camera up.
470. 470. It has no meaning whatsoever. It's just a number.
It's just a number. Oops.
seriously, it's got 560s, 470s, 680s. It's got a like, and one of these is like a 1.1 kilo ohm, 1.1 K. It is the weirdest value.
All right, so no sound from the speakers. I'm going to try the headphone socket. Oy.
You've ever seen those maps that have like trap roads on them that are like fake roads that don't exist?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that.
All right, I'm going to take my headphones out for a second, so I won't be able to hear you, Joe, for a moment.
Okay. $560. The other one goes up here. So he's got the headphones in. He's seeing if it has sound out of the headphones, I think. Play-by-play by Joe. And I think because he's dinging around on a whole bunch of different buttons, I don't think there's any sound there. Sad face. And it sounds like he just tripped over something. Somebody said
I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Did you fall over?
No. My chair fell into a. Well, I rolled my chair into a thing. I'm over here. Yeah. So we still don't got any sound, unfortunately. We do get some nice poppy noises when I plug the headphones in, but that's about.
Okay, so the sound amp is working. That just it's not getting audio out of the chip. Yeah.
That's what it seems to be doing.
Well, I think next step is a chip.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Do they make sockets that fit those chips?
That was exactly what I asked Bruce, and he's like, I don't think so, because it's a very odd layout, I think, or it's a different whatchamacallit. There's a reason why they don't, and I was
it's not a standard package type or something.
Something like that. I'll let Bruce wake up and correct me my ignorance. Now we find where I put all the sound chips.
Yeah, I like to. Whenever I'm building test articles, I always like to socket them, obviously, because then.
Now Bruce is saying they do make sockets for them. Make a liar out of me. Thank you, Bruce.
You have a test board with a socket, so if you need to take out a customer's chip, you can take their chip out, put it in your board.
I would love to do that.
It works.
So here we have a lovely sound chips. New old stock or whatever the heck. They are very, very hard to put on. That sounds like fun. That's right, yeah, because the way it's situated, yeah.
Aren't the solder pins in those like underneath the plastic completely or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. No thanks. Hard pass. All right, so let's.
I fixed an SE30 board where I had to yank off the FPU, and I thought about socketing it, and then when I went to put the socket on, I'm like, yeah, I can't get to the solder pins.
Yes, that's big no.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Okay. So at least the board works. So that's success.
Yes.
So Frank, your board is alive and operational. That's a good start.
Did you want to give it another pass under the scope? Make sure there's no busted.
Yeah, I'm totally going to do that because I have not that Mike's 575 board is in worse shape than Frank's was, but I can test points and such and be like, is this the same as this one? And see if they. Who knows?
Somebody send me. I swear somebody just sent me a Facebook message. But I'm missing it? Did they?
The ding!
No, I am hallucinating.
You didn't eat enough today. All right, so let's check this out under the microscope here.
Somebody did. Stand by.
Stand by.
Oh, I'm just doing housekeeping in the back. I'm completely not even pressing the screen.
Welcome to Mac84. I believed in you, man. All right, so thank you, Frank. All right, so let's just make sure we didn't screw up anything. And make sure that everything is supposed to be where it is. It's gonna be fun.
Muted my mic there for a moment. I have, anybody not in the know, I have an IBM Model M keyboard as my keyboard, my daily driver. And so, you know, it's the, what do they call it? The Office. I can't say, I really don't want to say that on stream.
Thank you.
The Office ticker offer.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I type, nobody can hear anybody else.
What? Yeah, we had when we were in the office, we had somebody at work that was using, it wasn't a Model M, but it was like a retro style keyboard.
Oh yeah,
and
with the super like the clicky cherry blues or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you could hear them across the office, and it was like, I'm happy for you and all, but you gotta stop.
It's like, close your door. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like,
love you.
love you guys, but you gotta stop. Huh? So, am I incorrect in assuming that this capacitor is supposed to? Hold, please. Let's test on this board here.
For 12K or 1.2K resistors. Yeah, this board is weird. It's got like transistors in the upper left corner that are used as latches for some reason when they could have just used another chip. Like they could have used like a 74LS73 or 74 latch chip, and it's weird. It's a weird
Now I want chips. First it was brownies, now it's chips. Damn it, Joe.
I'll take the brownies over the chips any day.
Yes, there you go. All right, so let's see. These should, if I could fit the probe under the microscope. Yeah, okay. Those go to where they're supposed to go. Let's go there. This guy goes there. All right, so those caps at least next to it are okay. I know Mike has a Model M. He has it hooked up to his Mac Pro tower. All right, so let's get.
Checking the stream chat.
Yes, please. I've been ignoring it. Sorry,
Thomas
guys.
Armstrong Z80 soft card. Yes. This is exactly what it is. Or what I'm doing anyway.
I'm doing it too, right? That's what you told me to do. That's the
yes.
Yes.
Chips. Thomas Armstrong ketchup chips. No.
Ugh. I'm not a.
Not.
I'm not a fan of My wife's a fan of ketchup. I'm not a fan of ketchup, but just see
unless
if
it's ketchup on chips, and you're using chips as the reference for what we call fries in the United States. In which, yes.
You lost me.
What's that?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, oh, you lost me. I'm not a ketchup person. My wife is. I'm not. So it's.
Yeah.
I'll put fries in tomato sauce though, because I'm Italian. So that's
Ooh, fries in like marinara.
Yeah, why not?
Ooh.
This is unhealthy eating tips with Mac84.
Just to remind me, you're are you vegetarian or vegan or something?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm one of those special.
No judgment here, by the way. I'm literally just kidding.
How dare you? I can eat my silicone just the way I like it. These chips are pointy. Ow. So I'm just making sure none of these pins on the sound chip are touching in a way they shouldn't, because that would be bad. And then I'm going to carefully look on the microscope just to make sure I don't see anything like broken traces around this area. And then we'll go from there.
So, folks in the chat who know anything about Apple IIIs, what is your favorite, most annoying feature?
Cricket.
I mean, I'm asking this on a Mac channel like anybody's going to, what?
It's like, for those of you who have been to space, what's your favorite propulsion method? Oh, I found 2 pins that are touching. Let's see if they're supposed to. Ooh, they're not.
Compatibility, the Apple II emulation, yeah. Yep. Storm Crash is what? Is that a soft card for the 2 or a 3? This is a soft card for the Apple III.
Mm-hmm.
Apple III soft card.
Oh, never mind. That bridge is supposed to be happening. Okay. Damn it. I thought I had something.
To add to answer my own question that I posed to the chat, what's your favorite worst feature of the Apple III? My favorite worst feature is the fact that when you turn it on, it doesn't beep.
That's right. That's right.
Yep, you turn it on and it's just dead. It just is it working? Is it not working? You don't freaking know. You have no idea.
We don't know.
Is the BIOS working? Is it just a video problem? Is it just a sound problem? You don't know. You have no idea.
Is it angry at the world? We don't know. Yes, the answer is just yes. It's an Apple III. Of course, it's angry.
Yes, it is an Apple III. It is angry. It's like I was supposed to be the successor, and it didn't happen.
The Steves loved me. It happened. Oh, I'm going to go unlock the door upstairs. Otherwise, my wife won't be able to come in the door. So I'll be right back. The floor is yours, Joe. Make me proud.
So there it is. So yeah, I'm just soldering in the resistors on this board now, of which there are somewhere around 22 or 24 of them. There's a lot. And as I was saying, there's a whole completely random list of values from 22 ohms all the way up to 2K. I've been evaluating the board. I think half of them could all just be replaced by 1K resistors because they're just pull-ups. But then again, they might be pull-ups fighting against a pull-down on the Apple III board itself. So after I do a full schematic, then I'll have to check it against what pins it's pulling up and down, if they're the actual data pins here from the board. But who knows? But yeah, lots of different values. 1.1K, like that's not even a standard value. Like it's 1 or 1.2. Who's ever heard of an 11 value on an E9 or E12 series? It's not a thing, right? And maybe everybody's like, well, Joe's boring because he's talking about silly electronic stuff. I don't know. That's just me, folks. I can't steal. You see, I can't steal all of Steve's thunder because it's his channel, right? Or maybe this is fascinating. I don't know. Get this one up here. And this one. Oops. That. All right, here's a little trick that I've found that sometimes works. When you're soldering a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and you're not sure if you've remembered one of the things I like to do is shake the board and listen to hear it rattle. If it rattles, you know you missed something, right? So it's not rattling, so I didn't miss anything. Hi, Dana of Dana Does Stuff. I was going for the SOS joke, but that works too. Yeah. You're talking to a bunch of geeks who are willingly watching this. This is definitely interesting. Okay, cool. Dana has bad hard drive. Is Dana going to take bad screws out of hard drive? Yes. Let's see it, Dana. Do it. Yes. Take apart bad hard drive. Have any of you seen the inside of a hard drive before? It's absolutely fascinating. Also, interesting side effect. If you ever need really, 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 really strong magnets, take apart a dead hard drive. There's like a bunch of them in there.
What the heck are you doing here, Dana?
Dana has dive bombed us, Steve.
I could see that. Thank you so much for making the magic work magical. He's got the pliers and a bad hard drive, and he's making me sad.
Yes.
He's making me sad. Oh.
And see, here's where the little trick I was talking about didn't work. I missed one right here. The shaky trick doesn't always work. That only works if you missed both leads.
Oh.
There we are.
Dana, you are scaring me with what you're doing to that dead hard drive. Even though it's dead, it concerns me when you have tools in your hands.
They're just trying to get all the they're just trying to get the big magnets out. Like if you want a fridge magnet that'll like stick your kid to the fridge, hard drive.
All right, can I get one of there you go. Cling.
I actually have a couple of those neodymium magnets from one of my from a hard drive I took apart back here that I used for wiping suspect floppy disks.
Oh.
If the format's weird and I can't reformat it, I just take one of those suckers to it. Reformat's perfect every time.
And go. Excellent. Let's just try testing the ground thing to make sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I suspect it's the sound chip, unfortunately.
Well, you know how it is. If you don't check every other thing, it'll end up not being the sound chip, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, I don't know. I guess what could have happened is, the caps could have leaked, and then it could have made it unhappy, and it could have shorted something out or whatever. But yeah, it's fun times. Fun times.
Put in these resistor networks here, or really bust resistors are what they are, but whatever.
So how many parts total are in that thingamabobber?
Oh, this board?
Yeah.
Okay, so the numbers are on my screen. If you want to add those up, go right ahead. I'm not about to count them.
I mean, dozens, hundreds, a billion? A lot. Okay.
It's probably over 100. There's 24 chips, plus 24 sockets, plus something like 25 to 30 capacitors, 25 to 30 resistors. Yeah, it's about 100, 150, somewhere in there.
I'm glad you're doing that and not me, Joe.
But it's fun.
It's fun.
Your whole stuff is easy. It's the surface level stuff. Luckily now I've got the scope, but it's the surface level stuff that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Bruce is the opposite though. Bruce prefers the SMD stuff than the. But that's Bruce. He's upset. He's in the future.
Bruce, can you drop a note in the comments if you're still there or in the chat why you prefer that? I would love to know.
Because he's insane. That's
confirmed.
He'll just come on and show up on the stream anyway. I mean, now there's a lot of little solder balls and not solder balls, but little like bits and solder on this board. So I mean, I don't think that's causing the sound issue, but we'll just replace the darn sound chip, I guess. And if that doesn't work, I'm out of ideas. I am working on a LC575 Adam, who asked in the chat. And the computer board now works. We got it working again, but the sound is no-go. No-go with the sound. And all the ground clips are on and all that fancy stuff, so I know that all that stuff is working. But let's go look at the bottom of the board, make sure we don't have anything missing. Or exploded.
Okay. On my board, I'm entering the home stretch. I'm starting to populate sockets now.
Where did you go?
Got those. Mark those off. You need 11 14-pin sockets.
You missed a lot, Chris. We are soldering up a storm, aren't we, Joe?
Yes.
Enthusiastic. Yes.
Like because I'm more of an Apple II guy than a Mac guy. I'm just getting my Kansas Fest Solder Fest on now.
Oh, it's a bit delayed. So that was a great event.
Kansas Fest is awesome. I mean, the virtual Kansas Fest is cool. It still allows us to all get together. It has certain benefits, but honestly, nothing is like going in person to Missouri, to Rockhurst University every summer and hanging out and playing games in the lobby and the garage giveaway to get that cool rare kit that you never had before, or going out to for those of us who are carnivores, going out for barbecue afterwards. We also have vegan options, Steve. That is an option.
I have never been in person, but the virtual event allowed me to attend virtually, which I was happy to.
Yes.
And Dana is showing us magnets again. Thank you, Dana. You magnificent devil, you.
Yes, super magnets.
I'm going to mute myself while I turn the heat gun on, so just a heads up.
Okay. All I'm doing is stuffing sockets in here. The trick I like to do when I put in sockets is, or actually really anything, is to just bend over a couple of the corners, because then that'll hold the socket in place and you don't have to use tape and stuff. It's actually quite contentious amongst folks of whether or not you should bend over your leads when you're putting things, when you're populating boards or not. When you bend over your leads, it quote, makes them harder to remove later. Although I found that not really to be the case, because you just hit it with your soldering iron, melt the solder, and then use the tip of the iron to just bend the tip back up. So it doesn't really matter. But that is a thing. It's do it however you want to do it. It is the way I see it. I find this to be one of the best ways to populate a board with sockets, because then you can throw all the sockets in all at once. You don't have to use a lot of tape to tape them down. They just stay in place. And then when you're ready to solder it, you just flip it over and just shoop, run across it. That's the actual sound it makes. Makes a little squeaky noise. Not really. I'm being silly. Okay. Am I even in, like... There we go. That's better. So right now I'm putting in the 14-pin sockets. I'm using dual white sockets because they're inexpensive and they're good for removal and reinsertion several times of chips. Single wipe sockets are awful and are the devil and should never, ever, ever, ever be used. If you use them and I find out you use them, I'll be grumpy.
All right, so chip is removed. The suspect chip.
Also use. I'm sorry, Steve. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying the suspect chip has been removed. And chip hot. Ow. Fire bad. Ow.
Yeah, don't touch.
I'm good.
Professor, lava, hot.
Lava indeed hot. Sorry, please continue with the important stuff you were saying.
Oh, no. The only thing I was going to add was, like, if you're doing sockets, you can use machine pin sockets, or what are also called turned pin sockets. They're way more expensive. I find them better for prototyping because they tend to have more insertion removal cycles than dual wipes do. So they have a better connection, but they cost like 4 times as much. So when I'm doing a kit for sale, I'll use the dual wipes because they're a little bit less expensive and keeps the cost down for the consumer. Okay. 14-pin sockets are done. Now to go to 16-pin sockets.
See, Dana, you started a bad influence here because now Jay's here and this is just getting too crowded. So what the heck? There's going to be so many people here you won't be able to see anything in the windows. I mean, I'm testing this board and then I've been streaming too much today. I'm going to get some rest, but Joe is welcome to go on as long as he pleases. Joe will be here for another 5 hours, folks.
Yeah. No.
Steve.
You didn't pay
I
me
only
that
have so much energy as well.
It won't come off, Steve.
Won't come off?
No.
Hit it harder.
No, it's like stuck here. It won't come off.
There's probably one screw under the label.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a Seagate drive, right?
Yep, that is a label.
Yep. There's probably a screw hidden under the label.
And this is why Joe's here. Dana sounds more satisfied now.
Yes.
Yeah. They do that so they know that it's been tampered with.
as if the big gaping grips with the pliers isn't the giveaway.
Yeah, you know.
Apparently there's two.
Oh.
I'm not even on camera. There we go.
It's like Team Stream. This is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I only envisioned it being the both of us and never gave permission for anybody else to join. But since you're here and being jerks, I guess.
I was like, you know what this stream needs? This needs some destruction.
Some magnets.
And I can't figure out how to get this damn thing off.
While you're here, Dana, you have to do your Superior Arnold impersonation of trying to get
I
that
can't get it off.
Thank you for entertaining us.
You win the internet, Dana.
Yes, thank you, Dana.
If only I'd be rich.
I'd be rich. One day, sir. One day.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, it still won't come off. Screw it.
Now on to 20 pins.
There it came
We're
off.
just having so much fun here.
Yay, look, a hard drive. And something fell on the floor. I don't know what.
This stream will never be rebroadcast again.
And this hard drive will never work again. Of course, it is broken. But look, I'm spinning it with my hand. It's so dangerous.
We are taking a fresh sound chip out of the package.
Look, I'm a little access thing.
I don't think you're supposed to be touching that, sir.
It's dead.
It's
See my multicolored ceiling fan in the reflection?
Ooh, bird. Put some flux down, and hopefully this is the last chip that I have to put down, or the last time I have to touch the sound chip on this board. This is not something fun.
Not fun? That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fun?
I'd rather be recapping other boards. Next, you know. So, Bruce and I have been talking, and it's like, you know, it seems like there was the initial wave of boards that, oh yeah, it just needs a recap. And now it seems every board is much more than just a recap. It's
Well, it's because we fixed all the good ones. Now we're just getting rid of the crap ones.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get
worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. So
time isn't being not kind to him either, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's just like, of course the capacitors are right next to a chip that's hard to source these days. Of course. You know why would it be easy to find a sound chip from 1990?
Hi everybody.
Dana, you're allowed to stay on as long as your reflection is in that.
You know, I mean, these are the ones we're getting now, Steve, right?
I'm sorry?
Like these boards?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
It's totally battery bombed, right?
Nah, buff right out.
They say you can't polish a turd, but the Mythbusters proved them wrong.
This is true.
Yeah, that was a disgusting episode.
Yeah.
How do I get this?
6 of those, 1 of those, and those come later.
Where are the magnets at?
Put it on your fridge, Dana.
Where are they, though?
They're past the pivot of the reed head.
So in here?
Under right there. Those are the 2 magnets.
Oh.
They're usually held in simply by their own magnetic force. If you can pry them out, they just come apart. But don't let them get close back to each other because pinch hazard.
Owie. and then this stream will be instantly demonetized by the lovely language coming out of Dana's mouth.
I have a bunch of those neodymium magnets that are like quarter sized. So yeah, I know the pinch factor.
All right, my flux fell down, and I don't know where it went.
You fell down in the toilet.
Flux, there it is. This noble stream has gone downhill at an exceedingly fast rate. Thank you, everybody.
Late. We're getting punched.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, a bit silly. Yet we still have 45 people watching. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
You'll regret this soon enough. I hope that this sound chip fixes this issue.
Sorry, let me mute this.
Noise.
Sorry for being so quiet. I'm focusing on soldering.
Well, we'll make noise for you, don't worry.
Sorry.
That was great.
There's this cool trick I learned from a video. Did not know this, but if you get good enough, you can actually drag solder through hole components.
Really?
I'm trying to do it right now. I'm just not that good at it.
Well, I'm failing at this too. So mutual failure. Yay.
All right.
Yeah,
Come
we
here.
got them. Magnets.
I got the one out. This one's good. There we go. So there's one magnet.
Ooh.
There's the other.
Pretty.
I am not. Oh, there we go.
You can put them on your free edge.
I don't know. They're kind of hard to get off of as well. Oh my goodness, Corona.
No sneezing. Go sneeze on your magnets, Dana.
It's a dusty hard drive.
Dusty hard drive. This is Dana, Dusty Hard Drives. Hi, Dana.
That is really stuck on there, dude. Like, I can't.
It's a comedy of
Are
errors.
you trying to get the magnet off of the actual metal piece?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not a bad
usually
idea.
we don't do that. We just leave them on there. You have to be very careful with them. They're a very fragile ceramic. If you try to pry on them, you'll usually
let him figure it out the hard way. Where'd Dana go? He had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that whole thing will be a fancy fridge magnet. Here's the reader. It's now homeless.
All right, so
Yay! So there's the inside of a hard drive, and Jay keeps these platters for drink coasters.
tree coaster.
Every time I go over there, I get a drink coaster.
Don't eat the magnets, Adam says, Dana. Don't eat them.
No, bad day.
Yeah,
Bad
really.
day. But they look so tasty.
Now they're stuck. There we go.
Dana, could you please help me out
What?
by saying, "Oh, the magnets."
The magnets, the magnetic. I don't know. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
I loved it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Schwarzenegger. That was terrible.
That's okay.
I sound like every bad impressionist on
That's
Mad
my
TV.
that's my goal. That's the low standard I set my own impressions to, and I'm so glad I've succeeded in being bad.
Get to the chopper, Maria. Well, I'm not married to her anymore. She's not my wife anymore. Sorry.
He's dead, Tyler.
What is this thing? Why is everything got to be two different sizes?
Let's see if all these pins are connecting, please.
I see Jay changed his name in the StreamYard to Jay actually does stuff.
Yeah, well,
I am doing this is
important
work.
life-saving work.
If I can keep it in the camera. This is important.
Important.
This is educational. How many people know what the inside of a hard drive looks like? Don't answer that.
Don't answer. Looking at our audience, a lot.
I was just saying. Don't answer that. Don't embarrass me. I do that well enough.
I do that all the time.
There's a high control.
I've got this handled.
That is a 5 1/4 inch hard drive right there.
Oh my, that's a big boy.
Woo!
What brand is
Came out
that?
of a practical peripheral SCSI, external SCSI for one of my Macs, and it was dead. It was DED dead. So I got it apart.
It's a mini record.
Because why not?
It's a mini record. You could see the sectors on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Smaller one even.
I need to recover the data. I'll just get a microscope. You could read it off.
Yes. I swear I've seen online pictures of that. They actually have some special tool that allows them to visualize that stuff with a microscope.
Wow. Fancy.
I'm not sure how that works exactly, but I've seen pictures. Because if it's on the internet, it's real, right?
Of course.
I mean, we're on the internet and we're real.
I don't know about that.
Speak for yourself. This is how the platters come out, I bet.
I bet.
The platters. Yep. You got to take all those hex head screws out of there. There's like 18 of them. Yep.
This is the first hard drive I've disassembled in a long time, so they're a little different now than they used to be.
It's a funny story about hard drives. So we have in our computer repair shop, now turned managed IT provider, but we still do it. Somebody wants a drive permanently destroyed, we provide that as an option. And we do what we call a Tony smash on it. We had this employee named Tony. He's still around. He just doesn't work for us anymore. But he would take his frustration out on those drives.
Did he smash the hard drive so bad that he smashed himself?
No, fortunately not. But no, it was named after him because he was the kind of person who would get out his frustration not in wide-scale physical destruction. Oh. Hey, Dana! Reflections!
Hi.
He gets his frustration out by doing meticulous, specific tasks. So Tony Smash involved Tony taking a hard drive apart and component by component until it was individual components. Then he folded the platters because this guy was like 6'4" and a hoss. He would fold the metal platters in half.
Just with his pinky.
With his bare hands. He would just fold them in half. Now, when he was having a particularly bad day, and he really did need to get his frustration out, he would fold laptop hard drives in half. Just the whole hard drive. Just fold it in half.
Remind me not to make that guy angry.
Yeah. That's the thing, is it's really hard to make. It was really hard to make Tony angry because he is such a gentle, nice guy.
Yeah, unless you're a hard drive.
Yes. So to this day, even though Tony is no longer an employee of where we are, of my company, we still call it Tony smashing.
All right, this sound chip is about to be tested, folks. Hopefully it works, because I'm running out of ideas.
Ding!
All right. I'm going to
cross your fingers, folks.
Find my battery doohickey dealy that I took off, and here it is.
Whoa. Look at the platter in the camera.
Ooh.
Little cracks in it. I don't see those when I look at it.
That's because you broke it.
What crack? What? Where?
There's like
how it looks like there's little cracks all over it.
That's your ceiling.
Yeah, is that your ceiling?
No.
All right, change your name to Dana Does Stupid Stuff.
Look, it reflects things because it's reflective.
Pretty bird. All right, I'm gonna plug this thing back into here.
Look at the cracks in my
You're cracked, sir.
Yeah, you're cracked.
Yeah.
All right.
I just rubbed it on my shirt, so who knows what I just did to it. More me face. Oh, God, you don't want to see that.
Oops.
I'm gonna keep this as a drink coaster. If you're still watching.
Okay, we're gonna give you a little test. Everyone, cross their fingers, please. Come on.
This looks painful, but it's not.
No sound. What the heck?
Come on, baby.
Come on.
Does it boot it at least?
Let's see. Yeah, there's a screen. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no guarantee that the sound chips I got are working. But
Put a new sound chip on?
yeah, I just put a new sound chip on. Yeah, I'm gonna check the headphone jack again. That's why there's a sound control panel on the desktop here.
That's what makes that board frustrating, in my opinion, too. Is if it were me, I'd start throwing an oscilloscope on it.
Yeah.
On different pins, but you can't because it's encaged in the machine.
All right, let me get my headphones.
I think somebody would make a killing amongst the Mac repair community if they were to make a breakout adapter for those boards. Some sort of extension adapter or something. Be hard to do because those are custom connections. It's not like it's an off-the-shelf thing you can just buy. You gotta like 3D print it and do your own thing or something.
Oh, sorry.
Steve.
What sage advice did I miss?
Don't. Don't.
I don't know if advice.
Don't
I was just
let-
mentioning, I think it would be cool if somebody made a breakout board for that connector.
Oh,
those
yeah.
boards.
That'd be fantastic. So
But
you're going to
it's-
do that?
The connector's not standard. It's some custom funky thing. So
Sage advice would be: do not sweat petty things and don't pet sweaty things.
So
never
why-
lick the metal bits.
Why no want work?
Wow.
Why no want work?
Why don't working?
Seeing as it's making its way
Bad
to 11 p.m., I am less inclined to continue with this as I was an hour ago.
I'm gonna keep all these screws. Don't know where.
Bruce, fix it. Fix it.
Bruce, make it work.
Right. Sockets are done.
Yay! How many more hours do you have to go?
About 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. We'll wait until you're done, then we'll sign off. How about that?
Maybe a
Well-
little less.
There has to be something successful in this stream
Yeah.
before we end it.
I was successful. I made myself
Yeah.
a drink coaster.
So now, got to make the little ROM adapter doodle. Because
Ooh.
this board takes a really weird 256 byte ROM that doesn't exist. I mean, you can still
That
find
doesn't
ones in
exist.
twosies. Yeah, but you can't find them in bulk. They're not manufactured. So I take a 256 kilobyte ROM and divide it by 1,000, basically, and make a little adapter.
Madman. A madman.
I need one of these. I need those. And I have a soldering
see.
jig somewhere. Here it is.
If this, yeah, it has a grounder, right? There's everything is.
Steve, did you check the headphone jack on that computer?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I plugged headphones into it. I didn't. Everything else.
Several people fervently asking in the live chat.
Yeah,
One of
the
my adapter
headphone.
boards had a factory defect. Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Good job, PC. No, it's not PCBWay. JLC PCB. Because they're cheaper and they're faster.
It's not the amplifier yet. Yeah, sorry, I didn't. If I didn't respond to that, yes, I plugged headphones in, and it did not seem to make any difference at all. At all.
I just love that everything that I've touched, I'm not supposed to touch. Like this.
What are you holding up?
This reminds me of a bird skull.
You can make a little clock. I've seen people do that. It's cool.
I'm not that talented.
Dana's like, that sounds like too much work.
Yeah, you got to drill the center of the spindle out and take the motor out and mount stuff to the back.
So are you selling those in your store, Joe?
This looks like
No.
if I had like an action figure, this would be like a really great like sword.
Like the Halo guy's sword, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Like, see, this is the grip right here, and you just
There you
hold
go.
on to it. Yeah.
So everybody's favorite desoldering function for to clean their soldering iron.
Licking it.
Brett. But see, remember, Steve, I said earlier, never lick the metal bits, especially the hot metal bits.
But it looks so tasty. But
Is that
older
why you
kids told me to do
Is that
it.
why you're so forgetful from all the
Yes.
lead ingestion?
What lead? What's the... Yeah, this is the sound chips are so much fun. Let me mark the dead one or the presumed dead one, so I don't confuse the two later on. That'd be smart. Smart Steven now is better than dumb Steven later.
Some people like to use a sponge to clean their soldering iron. Some like to use
I use the coils. So that's just
brass.
because I always used the sponge and it didn't do anything.
It'll get the solder on the iron clean, but it doesn't get the excess solder off the iron.
Yeah. That's what my experience was. Now I'm sure different soldering irons and all that fun stuff might work better, but my experience is no working. Most common sound issues are caps, trace damage, sound chip, amplifier, grounding issues, and headphone socket. I think that's all the common ones. Well, with my luck, Bruce, this will be an uncommon one. But, yeah. I mean, the machine boots now, so that's good. When I lifted up the caps, I did not see any trace damage hiding between them. But
Ooh, look.
poke around. Who knows?
It's your stream.
What? Oh.
That's trippy.
It's scary.
I can never turn my hand the right way because it's all the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
There.
I'll screw you up. Let's add the microscope back. So,
Your client doesn't need sound on his Mac. It's okay.
don't say that. He's in the chat. He'll get angry.
Oh.
He'll get angry to use his magic.
Look, there's no webcam.
Dana's just going to play with reflections for the next 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Note to self, ban all other users.
Ow.
I don't know. Tell me how.
Note to self, don't poke self with sharp objects. Sorry.
Note to self, do not light self on fire. Fire bad.
Yes.
Fire hot.
Fire bad. Lava hot. Okay.
Okay. Let's see if all these things go where they're supposed to go. Yeah, I tested those already.
All right. My work is done.
Ooh, wait a second.
I think. Yes. I'm going to go watch Suicide Squad.
Enjoy, in quotes.
I will try.
See you
First
later,
one put me to
Dana.
sleep.
Yes. Well, good luck.
I watched the director's cut, and it just took longer to put me to sleep.
It just took longer.
Bye.
See this? All right, let's try that again.
ROM adapter is almost done.
Let's try it on the other board. See if my hypothesis is correct.
I missed your hypothesis. What was your hypothesis?
That this little guy has to be touching this guy, and it's not. I think that's a problem. So I might have found what looks like a weak trace or a broken trace. It's very hard to tell.
Ooh, yeah.
But see, this guy here, this little probe point, if I probe it just right, if my multimeter wants to work, come on. It makes a happy beepity beep beep noises. But, so that's from that cap to that. But if I move down to this little area, which it's going to be hard to show on camera because my desk is cluttered, it's not making continuity to this guy here.
Ah.
And on Mike's board it is. So I'm going to run a little jump thingy, the bobber guy, and just see if that fixes it. And if it doesn't, I can just take it off easily.
Thingy-mabobber, the technical term.
We are very technical here, Joe, on Mac84. As you may have guessed, I mean, come on. It looks like thingamabobber, doohickey. I mean, come on.
All right. I got the 28-pin socket and the Arduino headers. Yeah. I got the ROM adapter and the main board. Yeah. All right, now I get to program a ROM. Woot.
So how do you use your fancy little adapter to do that, correct?
For this one, no. This is just a standard ROM. I can use literally any EEPROM program.
Oh, well.
Switch screens there. Switch this back over this way because I'll be over here for a moment. Oh, where are you, Chippy Chip? Come here, Chippy Chip.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that talks to my components.
You have to. It's the only way you stay sane.
Oh, that ship has sailed long ago, my friend.
All right, there we go. Here's a 7.4. A. Can you focus there on the and of course the camera is just not going to focus on whatever.
It doesn't want to.
The 27C. That's what I'm trying to show you. It is way overkill, but whatever.
Yeah, that's a bit of a break right there. Just a little bit of just a wee bit.
Okay.
And that's right where the caps was leaking. I wonder if that sound chip was good all along. And I'll have to test. See, look at you could
See, now I'm gonna have to take off the old or the new one, put the old one back on.
Yeah. Ooh, is that rotted through? Ooh.
This one
Doesn't look happy. I'll tell you that much. Well, let's test with our multimeter here. Let's see.
Screen. Okay, so I have to select my device here, which is going to be 27C256. I'm using an AT, but I don't think it really matters. Am I using an R? Yes, I'm using that chip. That chip is selected. It's telling me how to put the chip in the programmer, and we do that. Now, again, for cost, to keep costs down for my consumer, I'm using one-time programmable chips, which is fine because I know what they're supposed to be. So we need...
So you claim.
Sure. Buffer looks correct. Right. Writing chip. And then it does a verify pass.
Yeah, I think this VIA is hosed. Awesome.
Oh, the VIA is bad too. Nice.
Yeah, it looks like it's like if I push real hard on it, it will make a connection. But that's not good. That's not good. Let's just flood it with solder and see if that solves the problem.
So right there where that point is, there's a VIA there too.
Yeah.
So you'll have to do weird T-junction crap and yep, to get it through to
Unless
the
we
other
just
side.
flood it with solder and it's happy, then that'll make me happy.
Well, yeah. All right. Chip is programmed.
And of course, it's right next to plastic too. So.
Okay. So now switch cameras. Okay. Put the chip in der socket. ROM is in. Now we populate chips in board. Here's the fun part. So I need a cheat sheet right here. And I need my wrist strap so I don't zap or chips.
That would be bad.
They're bad. Especially some of these chips are actually new old stock as well because they're not made anymore.
Oh
So,
yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
Yes. Let me go through one chip at a time. Okay. We do these.
Thank goodness, Bruce. You could follow along at home. He's in his workshop. I think we found the issue though, because there's this capacitor is supposed to have continuity to this guy over here. And it's not. So we're gonna just make a little bridge and see if that fixes the problem. Just keep on poking away.
Okay, now I need an S74. The S is faster than LS.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Has faster switching response times. Although I have tested this board with all LS chips where it says they're supposed to be S chips, and it works. So I don't know.
Someone's lying to you.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, back in the 70s or 80s, well, the 80s, when this was designed, the chips were probably a lot more picky and particular and all of that. Whereas these days, 74LS chips are just, they say they have, the standard 7 millisecond switch time, but they're like closer to 4, like the S's are. So it doesn't,
So back in the day, the components might have been pickier, but today,
yeah. It's like, I mean, how can I put it? Is Texas Instruments or anybody like that actually at this point for Jelly Bean logic chips that are just like the like whatever common as whatever, are they really going to have like 4 different processes for making 4 different dies? No, they're probably all the same gosh darn die.
Yeah.
To be honest. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but that, it stands to reason. So.
And the people dealing with that these days are probably like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But, back in the day, it may have been different. Or again, as I was mentioning earlier, it may be some sort of like weird, that chip in there? Yes. Some sort of weird like anti-piracy thing that Microsoft did to be like, well, these chips are going to be slightly different just because.
Just because we want to be jerks. Right, so this point right on the bottom of this chip, R32, seems to be a little weak spot there. So we're going to just run a wire to the other side of the board, just a crude one, just to see if that solves the issue. Because if I could save a sound chip, that makes it cheaper for my client.
Yes.
And
not
I
cheaper,
learned something.
Less expensive.
Less expensive, yes.
They have different meanings. We learned that in sales school.
Would help if I could flex this, wouldn't it? Yes, of course it would. Stupid Steven. Why you do the thing?
S113. Here's the chip that's not made anymore. 74
Careful with
S113. Not in stock at any manufacturer. Can't get them a Mouser. Can't get them a DigiKey. You have to get them through like Jameco or like Pinball Arcade type resources.
What the heck am I doing? I almost hit myself in the nose with the soldering iron. That was cool. Note to self, do not do that.
Soldering. If it smells like chicken, you're doing it wrong.
Ouch. But I smell so delicious. Okay, that should hopefully. So, Adam in the chat asked Joe, where did you get that dip squisher?
Oh, this thing. Yeah. Jameco. Jameco.com. It's called a dip leg straightener. Dip lead straightener. It's dual-sided. It does the 300 is it millimeters, micrometers, thousandths of an inch. They're 300 and 600. 300 are these and 600 are these fat ones. It does the 300 on one side and the 600s on the other. It'll do up to 40 pin chips. And it makes life a little bit easier. You know, when you're doing a lot of, like if you have to put in one chip every once in a while, it doesn't make sense to have it. You can just do the turn it on the board trick. I'll actually show you that. Where you take your chip, take it like this, roll, and then just put it on the board and roll it. So if you're doing onesies, twosies, that's perfectly acceptable, right? But
Let
if you're
me
doing
make
a
you
whole bunch of them like I am,
so
having the straightener it speeds up the whole process.
Do it again, Joe. Sorry, I made you full screen, so now people will.
Oh
see
yeah,
you.
hold on. Well, I have to do it with another chip. Stand by. So basically, yeah, if you're doing onesies, twosies, with these things, they come from the factory. Will that focus? They come from the factory with the leads bent out, so they don't fit in the socket. So what you do is you put it on the bench, and you just very carefully roll it a little bit. And you do that to both sides, and it straightens the pins out, right? So that it'll fit the socket. But as I was saying, if you're doing a bunch of them, it gets time consuming. You're more prone to error, overbending, underbending, whatnot. So you just throw it in that and you go, and it does the thing. It literally makes that noise. If you hadn't heard it do it before, it makes that noise.
That sounds like fun.
And it keeps them straight. Oops, and that one as well.
All right, so I'm almost done with my little bodge wire, whatever you want to call it.
Bodge wire, yes. You said you were doing a temporary bodge just for testing?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that this is actually going to do what I expect it to. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. All right, so then if I use the multimeter here and confirm my assumption. Oh, well, thank you very much, Ron's Computer Videos, for the super chat.
Ron!
Community synergy powers activate.
Hi, Ron! How you doing?
Don't tell us you're going to join and start soldering stuff too. My goodness. we got a covet.
Ron can join, and he'll provide awesome color commentary because he is the best with words ever.
I already talked to Ron for 5 hours today. All right, so I'm gonna
one time a day is enough, Ron.
That's his new tagline. 5 hours, that's enough. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna plug this. Well, let's confirm our work here before we start jabbing electricity through things. It's probably a good idea.
Jabbing electricity through things. It's my new tagline for my channel. I'm stealing it.
Oh. Don't tell me this board is slightly different. Why shouldn't it be? Really?
What board revisions? What's that?
What's that? They're both 575s. Unless they're not. Oh, this might be a 580, but whatever. Should be the same. All right, let's look.
Final check. the venerable, the powerful Xylon
Oh, no,
Z80 processor.
Okay, so if I do that there, it's just much harder to see without the microscope, that's all. Okay.
There we have it. One fully built CPM capable computer that goes into another computer and uses that other computer as basically a dumb terminal.
That sounds like fun.
Now we get to test it.
All right, I confirmed my assumption. I'm going to test this board. Oh, thank you very much, Dana. Sorry for crashing your stream. Well, I appreciate your apology. And eep to you. That wasn't a good eep. Hold on. Eep for Ron and eep for Dana. Thank you.
I don't know if I would call that a crash. I think it was a wonderful little aside.
We got to see Dana's magnets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 24. Count is good.
All right, we're gonna plug this in.
Listening with great intent.
That CRT fart always scares me. It's like, all right. Everyone, cross your fingers, your toes. Let's hope that we get something good this time. Yay! Woot! Sound! We got sound! Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I think it was just that trace all along. So I'm going to try to put the bad chip back on, but success! Yay! Finally!
That is awesome.
Oh my goodness. Why isn't there? There, okay. There's the image. I'm like, why is there no image on the screen now? What did I do?
The best thing ever, right? It's like, will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Yeah!
Fixed one thing, broke another. What the heck?
All right. Well, we get to do my will it work moment now.
Yes.
I have this board completed.
Hold on, I have to give you a ceremonial eep. Hold on. Let's open the sound control panel. What's your favorite classic system noise, Joe?
Oh,
Because we'll play it for
soon,
you.
probably.
There you go. Excellent. Yes, Justin Nipbong. Thank you very much for the super chat. Eep. Let's see if Joe's does what it's supposed to do.
Let's get everything plugged in over here.
Let me bring you full screen, Joe. There you go.
Power. Where'd it go? I literally had it 3.5 seconds ago. Brain fail. There it is. How did that occur? Okay. Gravity. It's not just a theory, it's the law.
I'm glad you're barefoot too. And Angel, thank you very much for the super chat. Eep. When will you guest on RMC, 8BitGuy, LGR, or Action Retro? I was actually guest via a clip on RMC, The Cave, so that was cool. As far as the other guys, they have to contact me. I'm not going to go begging. I have my own crap to do.
Okay. Everybody see the screen back here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we hear a beep, it's actually bad. Because if it beeps, that means that it doesn't detect the card, which means I built it wrong. I built it wrong.
No. Well, I'm sorry. We weren't allowed to have 2 successes. It was only one.
Double check everything. Stand by.
There's only one successful thing.
Okay. All the chips are in the correct direction. Yes. Not missing any resistors or capacitors. No. Now I get to do the hard part. Check to every single solder point.
Oh, we got time.
Oh, I'm not worried about time. It's just
Well, I don't think you read the fine print of our streaming agreement, but we're not leaving until you get that fixed.
you might be here a long time. The first test article I made worked once, never worked again, and for the past 2 months it hasn't worked, despite having been completely depopulated and repopulated twice.
Sounds awesome.
So we might actually be smacking up into the YouTube maximum streaming time limit, if that's the case.
That's okay. We've been there before. We'll get there again. So yeah, this had to have a bodge wire to fix. Oh, I don't have the microscope up because I'm a dork. Hold on, there we go. Yeah, so the problem with this board, just so I remember, and everybody else in the streaming universe remembers, there's a little via here, right below this chip. That via next to R32 here goes right here where this little bridge was made. And so not only was there a break here, there was a break in the via. So what I did was I corrected this bridge with just a little piece of wire, and then I ran the cable from here all the way up through this hole here and put that connecting to here. I mean, I could have connected it there, I guess, but and we could also go through this grounding peg if we wanted to. But just FYI. Now we're going to swap the sound chip and see if the old one worked.
Ding!
Ding! It better. These sound chips weren't necessarily cheap.
Ooh, you get to use the microscope.
Yes. Yeah, but don't use your eyes. They can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Make sure I'm in focus there. Where do I need to be? Stand by.
That's a personal question.
Yeah. There. Okay. I'll show you what I'm seeing.
So, Angel, thank you for the super chat, but it's not Bruce who is creating the replica logic boards. That is Kai. He's creating. He created the Macintosh SE and he created the Classic. Now, as far as if Bruce is going to assemble them, I mean, I'm sure he is able to decide on whatever he wants to do in the future. But yeah, Kai Robinson is the guy who's recreating those boards, not Bruce. But if your question was, would Bruce assemble them? Well, he can answer that. But eep, thank you.
Speaking of those boards.
Yes.
I have one.
Ooh, I didn't see. Ooh, which one is that one?
This is the SE Reloaded, version 1.5.
Oh, nice. I have not. I have some of the parts to do it. I just have not had the time to do it.
My buddy Mark Josetis is had one, and he's like, Joe, do you want it? I'm like, why? He's like, because you're a nice guy. I'm like,
because you're a nice guy.
Okay.
This is concerning me. Who told you? All right, I'm going to mute myself while my heat gun goes again.
I'm just checking all these joints like super close to make sure I didn't miss anything, because that will obviously make this not work. Joints, joints, joints. But this microscope makes it a lot better because I can actually see if I miss something. If you guys see something I miss, yell in the chat. Dooby-dooby-doo. They all look good so far. I found one resistor I didn't actually get one of the pins soldered in. And if that is the case, then that will definitely do it. Check the CPU socket here. CPU socket. It looks okay. That all looks good. Looks good. Okay. Yeah, they all look good to me. Yeah, this one resistor, right? If I can get it in frame, where's my finger? Where is it? Here, that resistor right there. One of those two pins I don't think was actually soldered in. So if that was the case, that would definitely do that. Okay. All right, so we'll plug it in and test it again. Yes, we will. Stand by. Okay.
That chip did not want to come off.
No. All right. Will it work? Remember, beep is bad. Also, put the disk in the drive. That's a thing. I have a habit of removing disks from my Apple IIs and Apple IIIs because I've had the power off process kill disks, and I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't know, but I'm in the habit of doing it. Soft card not found. Crap.
Boo.
All right. Step 2. I'm going to double check that I have all the chips in the right spots. Switch cameras to that. That is my test article. I know that one works. 74. 74. I know this is a 32. 74. 253. 113. 74. 00. 32, 30, 05. Those are the only ones that can go in those because they're the only ones that size. 244, 244, 244. Yes. 157. 174. 157. Correct? Yes. 30. 244. 373. 373.
So we have a request in the chat from Thomas Armstrong to let you know to recheck the IC socket solder.
The IC socket solder. Well, which one?
That's a good question. Thomas, which one?
There's like 40 sockets on the board.
That just all of them. Just do all of them. Just come on.
Well, I checked them under the microscope, and they all look good that way.
Okay.
There's a possibility that I have the ROM in incorrectly.
Ooh, that would be bad.
It is not in incorrectly.
Oh,
but I will remove it. I will put in one that I know works.
That's good.
In case.
Do all the easy stuff first, then do the hard stuff.
Yes. We'll go ahead and we'll just check this socket.
He said he saw one had very little solder.
That's all good. He saw one that had very little solder. Well, let's go over it again. We'll do all the things. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. I am zoomed all the way out. Okay, well, that's a thing then. Okay. Let's see. Well, looks good. It's a Z80 socket. That looks good. Stand by. I'm going to adjust the microscope out just a little bit.
You might want to check Thomas's comment. I don't know if it's relevant, but feel free to read it.
Let's see what Thomas had to say. Click this button, that button, go back.
Click all the buttons.
And was a VPP or a VCC? Okay. Thomas, was that on the actual the main board here itself, or was that on the adaptery thing I did? One pin on a chip folded under the chip. Yeah, I've had that happen before too.
Okay. Try and put the old sound chip back on. Let's see what happens. Bruce suggests whacking it at the edge of the table.
Okay. I mean, it is an Apple III thing, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I read a thing that basically said like that was never an official thing and it was like misheard or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's such a widespread thing now. Good luck ever stopping. All right, so this is the original sound chip that was on here before I mercifully I just ripped it off. Let's just say that. Put it back on. And we'll see if it was that broken trace all along, which it probably was.
I checked them all. They all look good to me. Doobie doobie doo.
Doobie doobie doo. So yeah, I can sing with you. That's a horrifying thought. Steve and Joe do unwanted karaoke. Join us next week for where'd all our subscribers go?
Hey, they're your subscribers, man.
I'm sure you share a few of them.
Like, they would have to go to the extra effort to go over to my channel and unsubscribe, so.
The extra
Would they? I don't know.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah, don't tempt them. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
They can unsubscribe as long as they hit the button twice.
Yeah, that double does it. It's very
just yep. As long as you hit it an even number of times, it's good. Ooh, got a little solder ball there. It's not. I mean, it's not going to affect anything, but.
Oh. I love when you find a problem and it's like, nope, that's not related. Crap.
Yeah, it just looks good to me. Now, there is a possibility that some of my chips are counterfeit.
Oh.
I don't think so, but one person who bought one of my boards looked at some of my, is it the 32s? And they said that the TI logo looked weird, and they sent me a super up-close picture of it. I'm like, yeah, well, I suppose that's possible. I got them from an American company, so I would hope not. Ah, is that the one they're talking about? Right there?
Oh. Could be. I was trying to get, Ron says he tried to get me to do some Pirates of Penzance earlier, but he bowed out at the last second.
I am a very model of a modern. Okay. Nope. Now you got me paranoid. Now I'm just going to do all the pins.
Do all the pins. I just want this sound to work so I could be
Yeah.
done with it. I'd be like, yay.
Okay. I mean, it's easy enough for me to just run these pins real quick. That camera is pointing off into space.
My camera?
No, mine was.
Oh, that's okay. No one's looking at that anyway. It better not be. All right, let's play continuity beep beep time to see if all
Beep,
the
beep, 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 beep.
beep 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 beep.
Or as Bruce says in his wonderful accent, the beepity beep beep machine.
And Bruce is now like, I don't sound like that.
Yeah.
Pardon
Pardon me, American trying to do a weird, not weird, a different accent.
So I should have put like text somewhere here. Let me rename this, because this is the LC 575. That's what I'm working on. Yep. Let's see if all these things go to the right thing. Are those supposed to be bridged? Probably not. Pooh.
There are sparks.
Yeah, because I remember testing the connections. Oh, no, wait. It's supposed to be. Okay, that's good enough for me. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I have my my nicer Apple III out here for testing because I was using my less nice Apple III for doing these boards, for testing these before I shipped them out, and I killed it somehow.
Oh, that's bad.
I turned it on and it stopped functioning correctly. No video. Like, okay. Like it, I mean, it boots up, but there's no video on the screen, so it's okay. Well, that's an Apple III, so that means it's one of like 15 different flipping chips it could be. So
that sounds like so much fun.
This
Yeah,
Apple III.
I'm sorry. Go on.
No, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say my Apple III starts up and then it complains that like it has a memory like problem or whatever, and I'm like, that sounds like fun. I'm not doing that right now. That was the last time I touched it.
It's actually quite easy to fix that.
Yeah.
If you can get it to show you the RAM diagnostic screen, it'll tell you exactly which chip is bad, and then you just pull that chip out and put a new chip in it. The built-in RAM diagnostic of the Apple III is actually pretty good.
Okay, so I only missed one thingy. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
But yeah, the Apple III I was using for testing was the one that had a rodent's nest in it.
Oh,
originally.
Sounds like fun.
So yeah, I believe Joel McWilliams had that one.
And where'd you get this one from?
And then it went to Britt Dodd, and then Britt Dodd traded them to me for some Macs.
Oh. It's funny because I was at the VCF swap meet here in New Jersey earlier this year, and there was an Apple III with the rat's nest in it.
Yeah, because they get stored, and then things occur.
And the aluminum keeps it warm.
Yes.
And I'm saying that for Bruce.
Aluminum?
Yes.
Aluminum.
Aluminum. All right, we fixed the thingy. Hopefully, yay! Pretty good for the third removal of that chip. Yeah, let's not hope for another, please. All right. So I'm gonna clean this again. It's like deja vu here. It's too much alcohol, but oh well. Scrub dub.
No. Poopy head.
Poopy heads. Work.
Fine. All right. Fine. I'll show you what it looks like when it does work. Because I have a working one here.
Oh, where's the funnel, man?
Well, we got to at least show it working before we move on to figuring out whatever the heck is wrong with this one.
Yeah, as everyone's remembering the rat's nest Apple III. Yeah, that's apparently it's common. I don't. It's poor little guy.
Yeah, that one works fine.
So the beep. What is the beep? The beep comes up with the error, right?
Yeah, it just says solve card not found.
So you think it might be like just a chip or something, or?
Yeah, there's probably a bad chip, or one of them could be counterfeit, or who knows what.
Yeah.
So. Can you all see? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a camera over here, but basically it's running CPM. With my test article, it works fine, and I can do a dir, and it gives me a direct, well, you know, if I type it correctly. Give me a direct
Details.
So. Also, that just helps me confirm that my Apple III over here isn't busted either. So
That's good.
because it's an Apple III, you know. Apple IIIs, they're kind of like TRS-80s. You know, they require kid gloves.
All right. I'm going to test this again, and let's see. This is with the original sound chip now. So let's see if this wants to do anything.
So chips that are suspect. 32s. I'm going to go into my private stash of known good LS32s, and not my manufacturing stash, just to make sure. If this is the case, then I know that I got bad chips. I haven't had anybody, I sold 20 of these. I haven't had anybody complain to me yet that they don't work, so.
All right, Joe, keep your toes crossed. Oh, come on. Don't tell me that the sound chip doesn't work. That would be made noise, kind of. Yeah, maybe it was a bad sound chip.
A bad sound chip and bad trace?
Yeah,
Those are the best.
Oh,
that chip is in backwards. Let's fix that real quick. That would be bad.
Oh, you have a chip that's in backwards?
Well, I
put
it in backwards. I just caught it the moment I put it in.
Well, let's just go to the sound control panel to confirm my disappointment or not. And take the chip off again!
Yeah, let's look at this. I want to look at this. I want to see. Where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that sound chip was actually not good. How about that? Let's check the headphone jack just for fun.
Is a weird looking TI logo. Although I got these chips from Mouser, so I seriously doubt those are counterfeit. That one's fine. That one, I know that one's weird because it's weird. That one's, yeah, see that, yeah, these are my known goods. That logo's fine. That's fine. Those are Philips chips, and those are okay. See, that one looks weird, but I've been using those, and those haven't had a problem. All right, well, try it again. Wrong screen. There we go. So now you've got to take the board. You've got to take the chip out again, right? Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on. He can't hear me talking. So my test article. This is the potentially broken board. And all the way. Flip the switch. No beeps. The anger level is increasing severely. Oh man, these type of things make me so grumpy. It's like, why doesn't it work? I don't know. Could be any number of things. Let me double check. A billion different things. Oh, I know why it doesn't work. This is going to be funny. Look at this, people. Watch this. see what I see? Do you see what I see? I'll give you guys a second to stare at that. You just stare at that while I dig around for some things. Do you see it? Do you see it? This is funny. Also, I'll show you on my, this is why I have an assembly sheet. I'll show you the assembly sheet. Look at the assembly sheet, folks. Stand by, switch cameras. You see that right there with the missing check mark through it because I didn't freaking install it? Take two. Okay. All right. Well, let's put these in.
Oh boy. What I missed?
I figured out what was wrong.
Oh.
I missed it. I missed 4 components I didn't even install on the board.
Those are they important?
Kind of.
Kind of.
It's the latch that turns the card on or not.
Oh, that's.
Here's what's even funnier.
We're both
You look at the
learning.
screen. I have a check mark box for it. I skipped right over it.
Well, that's the part you don't have to worry about. That's
Okay.
all right. So we both are making mistakes today. That's good. Misery loves company. All right. So we are going to take this chip off for like the 80 billionth time. That's the actual number. And we're going to replace it with the known working chip, which is here. So unfortunately, going to have to charge you for a new sound chip. I assume you want the sound to work, Frank. Sound is kind of important for a multimedia Macintosh. Just double checking, make sure. Yeah, I checked continuity and all that fun stuff. Oh boy. Fun, fun, fun. Fun never stops, doesn't it?
Nope.
Flux would help in this situation. Jeez, Stephen,
Fun
what are you
doesn't
doing?
stop till you're dead.
And then other people have fun at your expense.
Yep. Exactly.
Where did
It's
that
the circle of life or something like that.
copyright infringement?
Not my channel. I don't care.
No. Welcome to Mac84. The amount of fun we have is illegal.
Okay. And
The fun is trying to take this chip off without melting the plastic directly next to it.
you've had 4 chances to mess it up, so.
Let's not look too closely at it, huh?
Okay. Let's get these soldered in. Okay, solder spool, you can turn. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we are. And that one. 2 more transistors to go. And that one. And that one. And that one. So, Steve, you use the same T12 soldering iron I do, don't you?
I think so. It's like the one I can't pronounce it because
Yeah, because
yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Did yours go molten hot like mine?
No, mine has fortunately not done that yet, but I've had 2 failures in it.
Oh,
You know, it cost $70, so you can't really complain. The first actual failure was when I got it.
Oh, really?
The power socket had gotten broken and wasn't connected, so it wouldn't turn on.
That's not good. Oh, and
So I had to use my old soldering iron to fix the new one.
Gosh darn it, we lifted a pad. But I think it's just it doesn't connect it to anything. not an important pad.
Of course, yours went thermonuclear.
Yes, it was very melty.
Like the software in it froze up or something, and it just left it on.
Yeah. All right, so we melted. We took off a pad, but that pad doesn't go anywhere. So I think we're good. I hope. Yeah, doesn't go anywhere.
Transistors are in place. Let's see if this board works now.
I have a high markup. No. I wish I had a socket to install. Yay! Yes!
It works.
You got it to work. Good job, man.
Yes. How close can I get this to the camera? How can you see it?
Don't drop it. Let me bring you full screen here.
Woot! Yeah. It funkin' correctly.
So tell everybody why they need one of those cards in their lives.
So, if you are an Apple III user and you want to actually have software to use,
Oh,
the Soft Card 3 is the card to have because it basically turns your Apple III into a CPM machine. So you can then run things like WordStar and Chomper and MBasic and a billion different other things. So that's the basic point. Yep.
Basic.
Nerd jokes. Justin Morgan gave me a face plant for some sort of joke like several minutes ago. I don't know what it was. Oh, you were face planting because I missed the transistors. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Everybody does that, right?
But hopefully I haven't missed transistors in shipping any of these out to any of my clients. Again,
You'll
like
hear
I said,
soon.
It's been like 2 or 3 weeks and nobody has emailed me back to complain. So
The night is still young.
also, if you're wanting to purchase one of my boards and you look at the price and you're wondering, well, why the heck does it cost that much? I just proved the answer. It takes forever to build one.
You could link. So you can now actually take the time code of this video, and if anyone gives you grief on the price, go, well, you can watch me build one here and see how much effort and troubleshooting went into it.
Yep. It's not complicated. It's a lot of soldering. And because I want everything that I make as much as possible anyway, I want everything that I make to be a me project, for lack of a better way to put it. I'm not farming it out to some sort of mass manufacturer to put the boards together.
Yeah.
If I had something like Rich Dreyer's compact flash for Apple II or something like that, where I was building 100 at a time, that might be different. But I'm building them in small batches. I want to build every single one of them and do that. So that said, even at $95 a pop for a full built one, that's still $200 less than what you're usually going to find them for on eBay. So
Yeah. Now, do you sell them in kits or no?
yes. You can buy it as a kit, so you can buy the parts. It's about 50% less to do that. As you can see, like half of the cost is just the time it takes to build.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Or if you want the board by itself, you can buy the board for $10. So then you can supply all your own chips, all your own labor, do whatever you want, make it a whole self project, and then post it. And if you post it, send me pictures. Send me pictures so I can put it up on my Twitters and things, so that I can say, hey, look, so-and-so bought the thing and did the thing.
See, it works. So now
Thomas says, I have an S100 computer for CPM, and the power to use it would charge a car. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had it all right, and then I moved the chip. Well, now you have to suffer through my ignorance while I figure this out.
Ignorance, nah. I've learned a lot about doing surface mount stuff just from watching your videos, Steve.
Oh, well, thank you.
So
I learned a lot from watching Bruce and other people's. So I cannot never take the credit, because it would be we are on the what is the old term? We are on the shoulders of giants.
I was going to say the same thing. We're all working on everybody else's past experiences.
Yes.
I will help answer chat questions.
Please
Storm
do.
Crash says, "Is this another sound chip?" And the answer is yes.
This is the one that worked.
Yeah, Steve found out that he replaced the sound chip because there was no sound, but it still didn't work. Then he found out that there was a bad trace, so he replaced the trace and it worked. But then we had to make sure that the original sound chip was okay or not. So then he put the original sound chip back on, and it didn't work. So it was bad trace and a bad sound chip.
Now, if this doesn't work, I'm going to bed. That's the end of the stream. Sorry, guys. Good night.
Thomas Armstrong, Joe, I have a cursed Apple IIe for you. Well, if you go to jcm-1.com and go to the contact page and want to send me information about that cursed Apple IIe, I will be glad to help you.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like fun.
Apple IIes, that's the thing. Apple IIes are tanks. They're almost impossible to break them. Like, you can give them 15 volts on the 12-volt rail, and it's like, eh. You can short the power supply out, and everything, eh. It's like, fine. The only chip I have ever seen fail on an Apple IIe has been RAM chips, which, of course, obviously, the RAM chips. And in one specific case, a keyboard encoder, because I fried it because I plugged it in backwards.
That'll happen.
Like, they don't, like, it is almost impossible to kill an Apple IIe.
That's good, though. That's good.
They're
I mean,
crazy reliable machines.
Another time.
You have to, like, abuse the crap out of them, or somebody had to store it in a trunk with a dead body pushed into, into the ocean or something to kill it.
But even just on the ocean alone, it wouldn't do it. There would have had to have been a dead body, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to have the salt and the saponification. Yes, both things are required. Thomas Armstrong replaced all the sockets, tested all the TTL, CPU and ROMs are all good, RAM are all good, CPU. Yes. In that case, Thomas, what you might have is a bad trace somewhere. It's also possible, depending on what's going on, you could have either an open or a shorted capacitor that could be causing signals to go across that shouldn't be. Yeah. Usually in a 2E, if something goes wrong, it's almost always going to be one of the passives that fails, or a lot of the chips at once. Yeah. If it's just outright not working, it's something weird like that. Yeah.
How many Apple IIs have come across your desk, Joe?
Many. I haven't had to repair any because they don't really break. The only Apple IIs that have really come across my desk are mine that I have back here in this corner.
So how many Apple IIs do you have?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so.
Oh, nice.
I have several 2Es, a Plus, a couple Cs, and a GS.
Nice.
Just kind of a nice broad mix for diagnostics, testing, that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I have I have my 2C, then I have another one that somebody gave me because it was like a package deal, and then I have 2 broken ones that somebody gave me to fix, but I never heard from them again. And then I have a 2E and a 2E Platinum, a 2GS, and the Apple 2E card.
Yes.
The Mac.
Ooh, the 2E card. I have one of those too. Yep.
Yeah, I need the lousy cable for it. Ron said that there's this company that, and I've actually ordered cables from the company before, that you tell them this stock number and they could just make one for you for like $30. And I'm like, I spent more on that for the parts to build my own. Heck yeah, I'll just have them do it for me.
So that link needs to go in the YouTube chat so everybody knows.
Ron, wake up.
You're done.
Wake up, Ron.
Because that is nuts.
Wake up, Ron. Wake up. Yeah, Ron did a video about it. Well, it was actually on his Kansas Fest thingy. He talked about it.
Ron, if you're still out there, was that actually in your Did you put the link to that in the Kansas Fest talk?
I think he just mentioned the website and the number because I wrote it down. I was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I've heard about it before because that company is crazy. They're so awesome. They'll just we'll make a cable, sure. I think it's IEC is the name of the cable company. They have a website that's reminiscent of 1998, and I love it.
Oh, so. Even better.
All right, so now
online. Send us a fax of your credit card number.
It's totally secure.
Yes.
So we're just going to test
just so just the evil, the MMU and the IOU. Yeah, could be. Justin Morgan, they built Apple IIs for schools. They had to be tough. Absolutely. Gives a block pattern. Yeah, Thomas, block pattern on the video is all the computer side. That means generally the CPU is not running. It could be the CPU is not getting a clock. Although if the CPU is not getting a clock, that usually means the whole thing is not getting a clock, which means you usually wouldn't get video either, but not necessarily. It could be not being able to talk to the ROM, so it can't bootstrap correctly. Usually, if you have a bad RAM, you're not going to have that problem unless it's on the 0 page, but that's typically not an issue. And then, yes, it could also be the MMU or the IOU.
All right.
The only way you really know is to swap chips to see what happens. You got it in there?
Yes, sir.
Final test. Will it work?
Boy. This better work.
Max Anderson asked, is anyone making cables for the DOS card? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll wait for Steve to come back.
Battery thingy in there? Just in case.
And sparks.
Make sure I don't knock over the tripod. All right, guys, let's hope this works. Please. Oh, come on. Why? Why?
It's not coming up.
The screen takes a while. 'Cause I heard it make the thing. Yeah. Oh, jeez, what the heck? Now I'm very confused.
Well, we saw you solder it. It's not like you did it wrong.
I better have put the right chip back on.
Oh, that is, yeah. I'm not laughing at you, Steve. I promise.
It was working. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's just that bridge I did for the. I don't know. Now, of course, it's like, well, wait. Did the other chip actually? Yeah, it's fun. Wait, was there a solder? Well, I desoldered the chip, so there could have been a bridge. I see. There's. Hold on,
Adam, are the transistors installed?
Let's see.
Yeah, Aaron, remove the chip and put the same one back on. That's what Steve thinks he did accidentally, maybe. Did you mark the other chip? I don't know. Hello, Dana. Thomas says the wire patch fell off. Did it?
I don't think so, because, well, I'm going to test continuity with that now. Hey, Dana, you're still here. No, the headphone was not still plugged in, but let's see. So this should go here. Yeah, that's fine. Unless there's a bridge somewhere that I'm just not seeing.
Wandered off for an afternoon snooze. It's me. I do that. I do that.
I do that
right
too.
around 1 in the afternoon, I take an hour nap almost every day.
That sounds like fun.
Keith is trying to get you to recap his Color Classic.
Can you recap my Color Classic, Steve? Yes, I can, Keith. If you go to Mac84.net /services, there's a little form you could fill out there. And although I do have a lot of work ahead of you, ahead of your potential job, I'd be happy to look at that. So if you fill out that little form on Mac84.net /services, I'd be happy to take a look at that. Just be very descriptive of what the problem is, etc. Hopefully we get that working. You're an Apple certified consultant. Very cool. So you can tell me exactly what's wrong with your Color Classic. That's a
Thomas, your cat has the nap schedule down. Yes. Can I copy its nap schedule?
I'm going to take a break and use the keyboard and type in my website here. Your LC3 board has not been cleaned and tested yet, Apache Thunder, because I was sick, so everything got delayed, so I apologize. But it is on my to-do list for this weekend. And I'm going to paste in my website there. We go. Okay. Just take one quick look under the microscope for this thing. I'm not going to keep you around forever, Joe, because you've already been hanging out.
I'm
stuff.
fine. unless you're trying to get rid of me.
No. I'm trying to go to bed. But that's not working either. So let's see. Let's see. Got nothing poking anything.
Looks good to me on that one.
Now this pad is gone, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it went anywhere. And actually, I could test that on this other board. Where is it?
It didn't have a via under it going to the other side or anything?
It did not appear to, but
Okay.
Looks can be deceiving, of course. Where the heck did the other board go? I was using Mike's board, which is all dirty and disgusting, but there it is. The keyboard is on top of it. There it is, right. So let's see. So what pin is that? That is the fourth one from the corner on that side. Okay. Let's see if that goes anywhere.
Listening intently for beeping.
Yeah, me too. It does not seem like I'm touching ground. I'm touching all the chips, all the pins on the processor, because it's like if it goes on these chips that are near it, and it's not doing anything. So I'd have to check the pin out, but I would assume that maybe it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Can we get 50 likes? We only need one more. Yes, please. Like the thingy. Do the thing. Please.
And there it is, 50. Oh,
Yay!
some of them did theirs. Don't do that.
Boo. I will turn this stream around. Let's make sure nothing is bridging each other or any of that funny business.
Adam McG, I think I knew who that is. I have to desolder some Apple II key switches for somebody. Have fun. It's actually not that hard if you have a desoldering gun. The holes that are usually in the boards for those switches to go in are big enough to drive Mack trucks through. They desolder super easy. You also have an original leather bag for your Apple II. I am jealous.
Fancy.
That is awesome.
And these are the two that are touching. Yep, that's like on the other one. What the heck? Well, let's give it a scrub it up dub. Why the heck not? Now I'm gonna inspect this chip here. Oh, let me
Check
do that.
the,
Sorry, go on.
Check the manufacturer date, the date code on it.
Yeah, there's different numbers. So let me rewind my stream and see which one I just took off.
Yeah, and just
Stranger
check it
things
against
have
the
happened.
other ones you have and see if they're the same date code.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because if it's different date codes, you put the wrong one back on.
Don't tell me that. No, it looks like it's they all match.
Okay.
Well, they all match that same style. Let me just open this up, and this will know for sure. No. All right, so we'll rewind like 20 minutes when I was foolish and being like, "Hey, I got it. It's fine." So skip it around.
Adam says the working one was 92. The fact that he remembers that is outstanding.
Well,
I can't remember what I had for dinner.
1992 on it. All right, so that's me standing up. That's me soldering it on. We want to go for before.
Welcome to Steve's Sound Chip channel.
Yes, that's basically what this is. Better or worse.
Oh, how many times does it take to get the right sound chip on? Tune in tonight.
Yes. So the previous one that was on there was the one that ends in P, and yes, that is the bad one, and that's not on the board anymore.
Okay.
So we put it back on, and it's still no happy. Why? Unless we angered it and got it even more crusty or something, which is it's possible. Could have been like, you know what, Steve, this V is going to fail now too. Why not? I mean, it could. You've been shoving a lot of heat to this board, and this could use a good ultrasonic as well. But what's concerning me is the sound was working, obviously, and now it's like no. So
Did
I'm
you
gonna
check continuity on your bodge, on both sides of your bodge?
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna do it again though. So here's what that pretty bodge wire looked like, and we're gonna check continuity.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you how to fix it. I'm just
Please.
thinking.
It's great when other people see things. Throw that chip out, man. Don't stick it on the shelf. Don't tell me how to misplace my broken items and confuse them for good ones. This is always fun, holding the board at weird angles while you poke things at it. It all seems to be happy. Yeah, it seems to be happy. So that bodge is happy. I'm gonna did I clean it already? I'm gonna clean it again. Why not? Cleaning makes everything better, right? Right? Yeah, sure.
There might be some solder ball stuck between them or something. You never know.
Yeah, and I'll put it through the ultrasonic cleaner like this because this board needs to be cleaned anyway.
Nobody needs a box of dead chips like Adrian. Thanks, Adam.
I will admit he has so many videos that I just catch them like once in a while.
Yeah.
Because I started watching his channel like after I think it was after last summer. So I've been like casually watching it since then. And I only just saw a video where he like brought, and I'm like, oh, that's like me and my weird obsession with my PRAM batteries.
Yeah, there was a video about 6 months ago. He's like, I can't fit chips in my bin anymore. What else am I going to do? I'm like, Adrian, buddy, you just get a bigger bin. It's okay.
Just auction them off for charity.
Yeah, it's fine. Sell them. Put your initials on them. Sell them. People buy them. It's fine.
All right, this is going to be the last thingy, and then I'm calling it quits for the night. But as we know, this will go on forever.
It's not going to be that Quadra 605 or whatever, is it? Did I mention the bad one? He took his earphones out. He didn't hear me say that. Adam, he sits there complaining about noise on the video of his C64s while throwing away all the RF shields.
I just keep dropping everything. Oh boy. Were you giving your guess of if this was going to be successful or not? You cross all your toes and fingers there, Joe. Come on. Ah, darn it. I hear the speaker pop, and that's it. That's all it's going to do.
Man.
Oh,
Well,
we tried. We gave it the old college try. Let me remove this extra one from the stream here. There's no doubt that this will haunt my nightmares, and then around 3 a.m. I'll be like, oh, I didn't do the whatchamacallit, and come down here and try it again.
It'll be another random live stream in the middle of the night.
My UK viewers will be happy if it's like at 4 a.m. They'll be like, hey, we caught it. But, oh my goodness. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, Joe. At least that was fun.
It's been fun. It's been awesome.
Yeah, we got to do this more often.
I appreciate being invited.
Nobody
ever invites me anywhere. I'm weird.
Well, I'm also weird, so I'm sure we don't get invited to the same things for the same reason. You have to stop touching the computers on display. But I want to see if they're running blah, 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 blah. But yeah, this was a very impromptu thing. You know, Joe wanted to stream, I wanted to stream, and we're like, well, why not combine the two and have all that fun?
Sounds good. I'll have to have you on my channel at some time.
Yeah. I'll bring the curse of things not working to your channel as well. But if you are not subscribed to Joe, please look him up, Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube. You know how to click the subscribe button. Please do that. Joe would greatly appreciate it. Smash it, and then smash the like button, and do all nice things with the notification bell and all that stuff. Hopefully, we'll get this. I'll get this sound chip, or if I send it to you, we'll get this sound chip working sooner or later. I mean, I got plenty more to fry. So there you go. Let's hope
Hopefully
I didn't kill the chip.
fried chicken is something really silly.
I hope it's just something really simple. Watch,
Take
it's going to be
back on again. It'll be fine.
Yeah, watch, it's going to be that one pad that doesn't go anywhere, but it just likes it, and that's going to be there's voodoo to it, but yeah. Well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much for everybody who subscribed, who likes, who gave a super chat today, who showed up here today. All 50 of you. I think we had like almost 60 people earlier. So thank you very much, Joe, for joining me and spreading the word and
no problem.
This crazy, insane adventure that we had tonight. We've only been going for 3.5 hours. We've only been on for like 3.5 hours.
It's fine.
And not including the false start. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging around, and see you guys later.
Night, everybody.